Hi, hello, and welcome everybody. Happy start to the new week. It is a Monday. Everyone who has Monday blues like I do, I apologize. Unfortunately, that's the way things go. But it is the start of a new week, the start of a brand new beginning, and we are here with a very exciting stream. What's going on, Stone and Goldie? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday. An exciting stream because at the end of every major story arc in Honkai Star Rail, we always do this stream. We've only done it, I think, twice on stream before, but this is the third time we're doing it. It is our character ranking in Star Rail stream. We use the character sorter online, and we just go for 2 or 3 hours, and we just have a good old time. It's a pretty chill one, so lock in, everybody. So, and I'm just warning you, Gulio, if Himeko isn't number one, I'm demoting you to the second biggest Himeko fan. She will be. Spoilers for everyone who is like tuning in for the first time, but I already said that she was going to be 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she probably will be till the end of time, or the end of Star Rail, whenever Star Rail decides to stop being alive. So the top three are set in stone, I think. I think the top three are going to be pretty much immutable going forward, indomitable, if you will. I don't see them ever really changing. Just be warned, she will be, Stone. Don't worry. Goldie, I wonder who will be number one. I wonder who. Yes, indeed. Indeed. Totally. So, Goldie, have you done this stream yet? Have you done it recently, or is this something that you're planning on doing? I would love to see your list. Like, I know you do these lists all the time, but like, I feel like if you were to stream it, that list would become like the definitive list. Maybe you'll do it tonight. Awesome. If you have like and like actually try, there we go. Very nice. Yeah, because like most of the time when you do these lists, I assume for you it is like a very on the fly, on instinct thing, right? Like, oh, I'm just clicking. Yeah, I like this character more. I like this character less, etc., etc., etc. When I do this like on stream, it is a process. It is something that I really have to consider. So, and I very rarely do these. Like I said, I've only ever really done these like I think 3 times on stream, including this one. So when I have done them, I kind of zoom through. My top 10 is what I mainly consider. Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, hey, you don't necessarily all have to do it the same way. So, Stone, have you done this as well? Like, do you have one of these, Stone? Do you have one of the character sorter rankings? I would be interested in seeing it. Because you and I share our favorites. I feel like we have similar taste. But it'd be fun to do one every once in a while where I lock in. Exactly. Exactly. So that is what we're doing today. So hopefully, I expect more people will start coming through later down the line because we are starting a bit early. We usually start around, well, actually, I was going to say we usually start around 6, but it's almost 6. So we'll see if anyone else comes through. But Stone, I know you were looking forward to this, and I've been looking forward to it as well. So it should be a good time. I'm thinking we're going to go for like 2 or 3 hours today. That's typically how long these streams take me. Because like I said, I do very much like heavily consider many of these choices. But I do think we're going to fast forward through some of these. I don't think we're going to go for too long. So 2.5 hours potentially. Oh, and I wanted to run this by you. Would you be cool with a trio pull stream with you, me, and Goldie? Absolutely. 1000%. 1000%. I would be down to do that one day. I sometimes Stone, I forget that you stream as well because I'm like always so focused on like just my own stream and everything that's going on. I barely have enough time to watch a Goldie stream these days, which makes me sad. And then so every once in a blue moon I see you live, Stone, and I'm just like, hey, I can go in and chat. I was thinking we could do it for the HSR and ZZZ collab. That is a fantastic idea. I would be so down to do a triple stream with HSR and ZZZ collab. If Cyrene SP comes out, you are all collabing with me. You don't have a choice. I mean, fair enough. I feel like you just get to decide at that point, right? I feel like at that point, it's just like, all right. It's basically like if it was your birthday, like, you know, whenever it's someone's birthday and you just kind of have to say yes to everything. Cause like, even if you don't want to, like, hey, for my birthday, I want to go have drinks. And it's just like, oh, well, I don't want to go get drinks, but I have to, right? So Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So one of the sad things about like this whole situation for me is like there's really not much else for me to like really look forward to besides Firefly SP. Kafka SP is going to be up there for sure. Kafka SP is going to do things to me. And I think like there's like a few characters like I think potentially like could really hit for me. Like Obsidian is one of them for sure. We'll see what happens, whether or not we get a playable Lord Ravager or not. But I mean, we've hit the high, right? We've hit the peak, and so now we'll see what happens going forward. I do think I'm going to get very excited for Nihilux, though. Nihilux looks very cool. There's a lot of things I like about Nihilux, and so she's going to come out probably 4.7. So I was originally thinking for Remiel, but didn't want to interrupt Call's dual stream. Yeah, we kind of set up the dual stream, unfortunately, Stone, like already. So, but yeah, absolutely down to do a triple stream at some point. The ZZZ HSR collab, I think, would be such a great example of it. Goldie Kafka is my Himeko for you in terms of who got me into this game, so I'm excited. The ZZZ HSR collab is a great idea. Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah. We've always said, Goldie, that if you had a Himeko, like, if you had a character that you could compare to, character like what Himeko did for me from an influence perspective, it is Kafka. So, and I think around the same time, that's when we first quit Star Rail. We've only ever quit Star Rail once, and that was Kafka's release. I think you and I were both like waiting for that moment to come, and then we were just like, okay, we've had our fun with this game. Little did we know that we would come back to it later down the line and everything would change. Like everything would change after we came back to Star Rail. Like we came back to Star Rail. Actually, now that I think about it, ironically, you were the one who got us into Star Rail, which I will always credit you for. That's definitely the more important one of the two, right? You were the one who had the idea. You were the one who initiated like the like decision to go like install the game, right? So that was all you. But when we came back to Star Rail, that was me because of Black Swan. That me simping for Black Swan is what caused us to come back to Star Rail. And then I remember you saying like, "Oh, David's going back to Star Rail. I've been thinking about, maybe giving it a second try." And then you were the one who then like, came. To be fair, I did play it during 1.6. I don't know if you remember. I just randomly downloaded it after Tokyo. I do not remember that. So, but you did rope me into playing consistently again. Yeah, because I was just like, oh my goodness, Black Swan's so attractive. Let me just log in to Star Rail after not logging in for months and drop $100. I actually did end up getting pretty lucky. I lost 50-50 on my first 10 pool. Like I was at zero pity. I lost 50-50 to Bailu. I remember this. And then I immediately got her like at like 60 pity after. So it was 2 earlies. Stone, let's not talk about Swan's voice, please. Is that a good or a bad? Because I love Black Swan's voice. Her voice actor, Erin, is amazing. I really liked her work in Ruby. So Goldie, I saw it around May and Ratio in Tokyo, and I was like, I miss it. I wonder if there's new stuff. Yep, Blake from Ruby, absolutely. Random, what's going on YouTube? What's going on, Random? Happy Monday, happy start to the week. Hope all is well with you, Random. We're doing our character rankings today. We're just yapping for a bit though before we get started. No reason to have to rush this. So I'm just saying it's very what's the word ASMR coded. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, Stone, but I like that. I absolutely. David kind of had a psychosis for Black Swan. I had like a mini psychosis, like a lustful psychosis. Exactly. Not for favorites, but for hottest character. Which is unfortunate because I still think she is like the number 4 most attractive character in the game behind Kafka, Cypher, and then Cocolia. But there's just something about her veil that like she's got like this like belt on her veil. You guys know what Black Swan looks like. There's just like these like little things about Black Swan's design that like kind of turned me off a bit from her. So unfortunately she has dropped with time. But I absolutely was very down bad for Black Swan when I came back to Star Rail. I've never seen you act like that towards a character except Evelyn and now Dreda. Well, you got saved from most of like the initial Evelyn like psychosis because Around that time, I think you were on your social media and Discord kind of like blackout that you told me that you were taking. Like I remember you just wanted to like decrease your digital footprint, and I was like, oh okay, so like we weren't chatting that much. So you were saved from like the Evelyn psychosis, but the Evelyn psychosis was bad. That one was bad. It was as bad as the Eldrada one, I would say. So I do think Eldrada takes the cake though. I think my sipping for Eldrada 2 days ago, no 3 days ago, was the peak. I think I've never barked for a character. I will say that Eldrada is the only character I have barked for. So random, no Madam Herda. I think Herda is one of the prettiest characters in the game. Random. If we're going off of like just pure, just how pretty is a character, she's top 5 for me. I don't know if she's like top 3, but I think she's top 5. But there's a lot more that goes into attractiveness besides prettiness, right? There's the lustful aspect of it, and unfortunately, I'm not attracted to Herda's curves. Let's say. So. Stone, just be warned though, for if we do pulls together, I'm someone that barely saves, so don't expect me to have many pulls. That's perfectly fine. That's perfect. I mean, Goldie's gonna E6 Remiel, and I'm pretty sure he's going to M6. I always forget to make the distinction. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna get Remiel M2. So I will be M0ing at Remiel. Goldie's M6ing her, so that's gonna be a pretty stark difference. Yeah, Eldrada is now the most I've seen. Yeah. I think, to me, what separated the Eldrada simping from anything else that was on the channel was, like, the fact that I was, like, making some pretty feral noises. So, prettiest character is Cyrene. Yes, she is. I agree with that. Second prettiest is Himeko. And then third prettiest is Aglaya. And then it's, like, the field. And then Herda would be up there as well. My top 5, I think, is top 5 prettiest characters, not the top 5 characters I'm most attracted to. Number 1, Cyrene. Number 2, Himeko. Number 3, Aglaya. Number 4, probably Robin. And then number 5, probably Herda. The Herda specifically. Not Tiny Herda, the Herda. Random, I really liked her selfless personality, beauty aside. In 3.7, she went from being cocky and making everything about herself to putting her life on the line to defeat Iron Tim. Here's the thing about Herda. She was always like that. Herda has always been like that from the very start of the game. From the very start of the game. She, like, presents herself as, like, very, like, oh, life's all about me. And she is absolutely, like, egotistical, right? She's very egotistical. But she's always been grounded. She's always been caring. She's always been considerate. She just doesn't show it very directly. But she's always been like that. So whenever she, made like those decisions in Inforius that like put her in danger, that was not surprising. That is very much in line with her character. They even show that in her trailers. So it's what makes her a very interesting character, a very well written character. So Stone, I think there's only one HSR character and only one ZZZ character I have ever barked for. God damn. I assume it's potentially doing something with pink. Goldie, I should really bark for Cyrene. I feel like if you barked for Cyrene, I would be sad. That would be disappointing. I would be like that. Like, barking is reserved for not like appreciating a character, for like being down bad for a character. You know what I mean? And down bad in the sense that like, hey, I'm attracted to this character. You don't bark for your wife though, unless you're into some kinky shit. Like you take care of your wife. You love and like cherish your wife. You don't bark at them. So we're both just getting M0W1 Remiel, David? Yeah, probably. I'm still thinking about it. I realized, Stone, that with ZZZ, if I'm going to get Mindscapes, it's not M2 that I want, it's M3. Because it would tilt me beyond no end to have like M2 and not have the border, right? Once you get to M3, you get the border. So that would like, I don't think I will ever get an M2 in ZZZ. I will always get M3s, and M3 to me is a bit too much for Remiel. I love Remiel. Don't get me wrong. She's my 4th favorite character in ZZZ, but I don't think I love her enough to get M3. I think what we're going to do is we're going to get M3 Evelyn when she reruns, and then M6 Eldrada. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Goldie, I do whatever my wife wants. That's like, well, I guess I don't think Cyrene would be into barking. But then I'm starting to sound like that one like Discord member that you told me about. So Stone for ZZ, it's Xinguang. For HSR, it's Firefly. Those are interesting. Oh wait, Stone, you have a much different taste than I do. I have to keep in mind that you guys have very different tastes in terms of attractiveness than I do. Like I just assume that everyone like is attracted to the mommies, and I feel like a lot of people are attracted to the mommies like I am, but not in my chat, surprisingly. Like in my chat, it's like more or less like, yeah, the more, you know, girl next door kind of vibes. Goldie, the banner doesn't matter since I won't ever replace my banner. That's true. That's fair. I usually get M0W1 of a character max. Same. Sometimes I don't even get the W engine, but these days I'm summoning for copies because just everything lined up like that. Random, I'm down bad for Miyabi and ZZZ. Well, look at that. Look at that. I'm a Miyabi fan. I'm a Miyabi appreciator. No, yeah, I respect Miyabi. I love her character, but I am not attracted to Miyabi, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on who you ask. Stone, I wish you were around. I was saying, Lady Xinguang, please step on me. Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't into ZZZ at the time. So, but no, that'll be me with Eldrada. So actually, I already say that. I already said that. I said that 3 days ago during the reaction. So, but yeah, ZZZ, holy shit, man. They know how to make some attractive characters, not just women, men too. Like, Lord Jesus Christ, Lighter. Lighter can do things to me, and I would not mind. I would not mind at all. So I think my Hoyoverse husbando is Aventurine. Aventurine takes the cake for me. Aventurine is something else, man. He is a pretty boy. He is a pretty man. So Hugo is also very attractive. Hugo's attractive. Who else is like amongst the males like I find super attractive? Like I know a lot of people find Lycon attractive. Unfortunately, I'm not into that thing. I'm not a furry. I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not me. My ZZZ husbando is absolutely Lighter though. Absolutely. Goldie, it's between him and Finon for me. Who? Lighter, or I assume you mean Aventurine. Alvin. Okay, that's what I thought. No, yeah, for me it's pretty decidedly an Aventurine. I think Aventurine is, especially with his SP, bro. And I don't know if I don't like to talk about leaks too much on the channel. For those of you guys who have seen the Aventurine SP leaks, god damn, dude. Random, they just know their audience. The 16 age range gives them more liberty than their other titles like Genshin and HSR. Yeah. That's why ZZZ has like the jiggle physics and the skins that they do and the character designs that they do. It's because they have a little bit more freedom to, you know, showcase, let's say, to highlight. So, like, did you guys see Remiel's hip sway? Oh my god. Her hip sway is ridiculous. It's like a pendulum. She goes back and forth and back and forth. Remiel's hip sway is something else, dude. Which makes me happy because that means that when Eldrada comes out, her hip sway is going to be just as good, if not better. So, you just watched the animations yesterday? Holy, yeah, bro. Aventurine's animations are fucking, they are something. They are something indeed. Random, Aventurine, aha instant. Bro, Aventurine's everything. But the aha instant is, yeah, that's the main one for sure. That's the one that gets you like sweating a little bit. Like, whoo, Aventurine, take me out to dinner first, why don't you? Please and thank you. But yeah, I will say this. I was kind of let down a bit by Robin SP's animations. I don't think they're bad, but I do think they could have done a bit more with her SP's animations, especially for a character as popular as Robin. So, I feel like Robin's like very popular, like a very big deal, and for them to like not invest that much into, in all fairness, like they probably put all of their resources into Himeko Nova's animations, so like they probably didn't have that much time to work on Aventurine and Robin SP's animations, but just a little bit let down. But I'm probably not summoning. Excuse me. I'm probably not summoning unless Robin SP ends up being like best in slot for Himeko. I love Aventurine. He's going to be ranked very highly on the list that we're about to do, but I just don't think I'm going to be going for either one of them, which makes me sad because I do like summer, like, or just in general. I do like gacha seasonal characters and seasonal skins. Those make me happy. Random, they're keeping the budget for Nihilux and Pearl Trust. I do think Pearl is going to have a pretty decent amount of budget with her animations. But yeah, Nihilux is the big one. That's the one that's going to be like exploding the internet once she comes out. So they seem to be comfortable doing 3 main pushes in one version. Like, okay, we've got Anniversary, then we've got the summer main push, then we've got like the end of patch main push, right? So in Forius, we had Castris, Phynon, Cyrene, and then so far PLANARCADIA, Silverwolf, Himeko Nova, and what we all assume to be Nihilux in 4.7. So an only ask is please let us get 2 single new character patches after 4.5. What do you mean? Like non-SP characters? Random. Leaks suggest she's best in slot for Aglaya, at least for now. Might be wrong, though. No, leaks do suggest that Robin is more so or less a Aglaya support, which is really cool, by the way. Aglaya finally getting some love for once. That character is amazing, and I'm always so sad that she didn't get like the attention from the community that she deserves. I think Aglaya is extremely well written. So no, I mean, I don't want a new character in both phases. Well, we're going to get one, Stone, because Pearl needs to come out at some point. So we're for sure going to get Pearl. That is guaranteed. What we get after Pearl or before Pearl, who knows? Who knows? Goldie, you say that like anything could ever in this world or universe or lifetime ever in a million years until the heat death of the universe get me to replace Cyrene. Me, when my friend said Robin might be better than Cyrene for Cass. That honestly surprises me because I thought that who Robin would be replacing would be Castris. Cyrene is just too good of a support. I just feel like that doesn't work. But I guess maybe like since Castris is the main DPS, I could see that. I don't know. So yeah, I know, but I'm saying I want her to be the only new character in 4.6. Oh, gotcha. We'll see. Right now, I don't think it's rumored that we're going to get anyone alongside Pearl, right? Right now, it's rumored that Pearl is going to be the only one in 4.6. Which, by the way, I will almost certainly be getting Pearl. So if she's the only one, that would be great for me. Because then if Pearl runs as a single banner in 4.6, then I think I could go for the Fate banners at that point. I think I could go for Rin at that point. Goldie, with Eidolon, she doesn't. I just need a save phase before the collab. Yeah. Goldie, also, yes, the rumor is 4.6, Pearl 4.7, Nihilux. That's what I'm hearing as well. Yeah, random. Same thing. That is what I've been seeing and reading as well. So hopefully that's the case, because if they were to be like, hey, by the way, Sampo SP 4.6, that would suck, especially for Goldie. But that would be something they would do with the Sampo SP. They would drop the Sampo SP out of nowhere, wouldn't they? Random, going all in for Nihilux. What do you mean by all in? Is that an E6 that I hear in my ear, Random? Is that a potential E6? Goldie 4.7 is also the exact day that the calendar from last year has the Euphoria symbol on it. That'll be interesting what character they end up using. Obviously, Tribios is that's like the obvious answer, right? But it'll be interesting to see if they do anything else, like maybe an SP for one of their heirs, or if it's just Tribios. So I don't think they would do a Phynon SP so soon. And I'm not quite sure they'll ever do a Cyrene SP, so who knows? I would love for them to do one. Love for them to do one, but the fact Nihilux is on it, I wonder if Nihilux has something to do with bringing it to life. She is Aha, so she's got some fucking power to her. Who knows? They will. I hope so, Goldie. I would love for a Cyrene ESP. Imagine we get a playable Xandar. I don't think we'll ever get a playable Xandar, but if we do, it's not going to be anything like Lygus. They're going to be just like a regular character, just that ends up being a Xandar. Hold on, I got a cough. Random, if I'm lucky enough, the level I aim for is E2 S1 as a free to play. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, if you're free to play, then getting any Eidolons is dangerous. So I respect to you, Random. Respect to you. Okay, so let's go through our housekeeping items as per usual. So number one, when is the next stream? Next stream is going to be tomorrow. We're going to do back-to-back streams because tomorrow we're going to be doing some Himeko Nova relic farming. It's going to be a very chill stream. It's just going to be me getting Himeko Nova relics, upgrading relics, and just chatting with you guys if you guys want to show up. So if you guys are down to chat tomorrow and just like watch me do some relic farming and some relic upgrading, that'll be tomorrow. Will be a very chill stream. Should be a really easy one. So, and then after that, I'll be taking a break. Isn't Fate stuff this week? Stone, I'm not sure if we're going to be doing the Fate stuff on the channel. When we did the Fate stuff the first time around on the channel, I'm going to be perfectly honest, that was not the best stream. So we'll see if we end up doing the Fate stuff on the channel or not. Right now, no, I'm just asking, does it drop this week? I don't remember. I don't quite remember. I know that Archer, like the free Archer Gilgamesh light cone is dropping this week, right? I feel that's like a few days away only. So maybe that would be yes to line it up with the story release. No, you're good. You're good, brother. I was following you there. No worries. So, but yeah, so tomorrow's stream is going to be a very chill relic farming stream. After that, I will be taking a bit of a break. I know Remiel trailers will be coming out for 3.1. Please remember that aside from Eldrada, we'll do each trailer separately on its own stream. But for most of these ZZZ characters, we will be doing all of the trailers at once in one stream. So I'm going to let all of the Remiel trailers come out, all of them, the EP, the character trailer, the teaser, the animated short. I'm going to let them all come out for Remiel, and then we're going to react to all of them in one stream. So it'll give me an opportunity to take a couple days break before 3.1 drops, and before 3.1 drops, we'll react to Remiel. And then we're also going to be doing a very exciting stream for the pools as well. So I'm taking a break right now until 3.1 drops. So I feel, it's been crazy because the Himeko Nova stuff basically gave us a ton of extra streams that we were going to do for 4.4. So that ended up being a bit of a energy burner for sure. Random, let's hope they don't make the entire story around an NPC like last time with Scott. Yeah, I'm really hoping they improve the story. Because I will say, the previous one was pretty damn mediocre. I wouldn't say I was like upset, but I was like, really? This is the story for the collab? The event was okay. Yeah, I thought the event was kind of fun sometimes. But the story involved was pretty weak. So we'll see if this time around it's better. The very fact that Mighty and Finon are involved in some way excites me, so that'll help. That'll help for sure. But yeah, so stream tomorrow, and then probably like 4 or 5 days without a stream. Just fair warning. And then the second housekeeping item, of course, is going to be what comes after 3.1, right? What is going to be Gulio after 3.1 ends? Well, I've talked about it before on the channel just a little bit. We will be, for the first time since the channel's inception over a year and a half ago, we're going to be doing a non-gacha on the channel. It's going to be Expedition 33. So after ZZZ 3.1, we're going to be doing Expedition 33. That is right, Stone. And that is going to be a very interesting experience because for the past almost 2 years on the Gulio channel, I have done only gacha content. I had like somewhere in between there. One day we did like an anime reaction stream to Ban from Giguk. So there was that. But gonna be a very different stream. This, and I anticipated before I ever started streaming that my channel would mostly be non-gacha content. So it has taken a different form than what I expected. So what we will be doing in Expedition 33 will be very cool. It'll be new, it'll be shiny, it'll be exciting. So and I've also been trying to branch out my content as well. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. I'm excited. It's probably going to be like viewership suicide, right? You don't want to branch out of the algorithm that YouTube and Twitch put you in. But viewership is not my priority. My priority is doing what I want and being able to be passionate about what I want on stream and sharing it with all you guys. And I want to play Expedition 33. That is what I want to do. And so that's what we're going to do. So my last few streams have been non-gacha. Really? Very cool. I'll have to go to your channel and watch the VODs, whatever you're streaming. So, all right. Good yap session. We're about 30 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get started with the main show of today. So, Honkai Star Rail Character Sorter is a website that you will be seeing here in just a moment that basically very efficiently allows you to rank your characters. Hold on, I have a Discord message. There we go. This website allows you to very efficiently rank your favorite characters in Honkai Star Rail. It also allows you to do specific rankings. So maybe you just want to rank the 4 stars, or you just want to rank all the girls in Star Rail. But if you want to rank everything, you can do that as well. So basically, it pits you choose characters, and then you choose the character that you prefer, and then at the very end it compiles your ranking for you. It is what I like to do whenever I rank my Honkai Star Rail character list, and so that is what we're doing here today. Stone, I need to check if the ZZZ one has been updated yet. I don't think ZZZ has a character sorter, do they? I mean, we can search it up right now. I wish they did. Oh, there is kind of one. There is one. Oh, look at this. Upcoming characters. Is this just going to be... Oh, no, this is really out of date. Yeah, that is out of date. Unfortunate. But, yeah, Stone, it does seem like it has one, but it hasn't been updated in a very long time. So, whereas this one has. This one, if you click upcoming characters... You get, sorry, did not mean to do that. Can we go back? Yeah, here we go. This one, if you click upcoming characters, you get Gilgamesh, Rin, and Himeko Nova. So, and then that's what it basically looks like. It basically ranks it like that for you. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started with the ranking. So, I have talked about this many times before. I will not be doing any ties. We are not going to be cheating in any way. However, there are some elements just due to the cast and list that we will be ranking that I would like you guys disable ties and undos. Oh, I want the undos in case I need to go back. So we just won't tie anything. There are a few kind of situations with the character list that we're going to be ranking that do require me to kind of like play around for a bit, right? The first of which is that fact that there's 2 Trailblazers. We have both Kalis and Stell. I will do my best to keep those 2 together. Just so you guys know, I will do my utmost to make sure that by the end of the ranking that Kalis and Stell are together. To me, there is no difference. To me, they are the same character. So to me, they should share the same ranking. It's just really difficult to do that. The second thing to keep in mind is that there is going to be fate characters in this. Gilgamesh and Rin, and Saber and Archer. Saber and Archer, Gilgamesh and Rin are going to be ranked last, at the very last places of the ranking. That doesn't mean I don't like those characters. That doesn't mean I like Arlon more than Saber or Rin, for example. No. Like if you were to tell me who is your preferred character, Arlon from Honkai Star Rail or Rin Tosaka from Fate, the answer is easily Rin. It's Rin every day of the week. But This is a star rail ranking. So I do want the star rail ranking to be the focus. So the fake characters I will always choose against. They will be bottom of the list. Just so you guys know, that doesn't mean I dislike them. That is just the rule that I'm using. So random. Stell is used for the trauma trailers. Kalis is for the vacations. It depends on the like the intent of the like emotions that they're trying to produce. I think. Stone, watch Kalis be in the top 10. No, I don't think the Trailblazers are going to be in the top 10. I have my previous list with me on the side, so that if I ever need to like reference it for like maybe I'm like stuck between one specific character choice, I can reference that list. So. All right, here we go. We're gonna be doing playable characters and upcoming characters because that's the best way to make sure that Himeko Nova is in here. And also, one more thing before we get started. I consider most SPs to be the same character. So, for example, for Himeko, who's going to be number 1, both Himeko Nova and Standard Banner Himeko will be 1 and 2. So that'll be like the first and the second slot. Just a heads up. Like Dan Hung IL, 4-star Dan Hung, and Dan Hung Permanent Sword Tarai, those are all the same character for me. So again, I will do my best to make sure those are all together, but I can't promise anything. Can't promise anything. Stone, real quick, wanted to ask you something related to 4.4. From what point at the time do you think our future self was at from that what we talked to in the dream space that Stutteron took us to? Well, if our future self is, supposedly Terminus, which is, the theory that we are becoming the new Akavili and our future self, our other self is Terminus, then the point in time is the end of the universe because that's where Terminus exists. So probably that. What's going on, guest? How's it going, guest? Good to talk to you after last night. I'm not late, am I? We were just about to get started, my friend. Narratively speaking, I feel like picking Stell as MC is better when Stell faces Kalis. That was so Kiana versus Kevin. To me, they're the same character, but to each their own. That Kalis dispatch even did the Kevin pose where he looks behind. They do have some similarities. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started because I don't want to be here for too long. So, this character is going to be my least favorite Star Rail character. I'm just going to let you guys know right now. So, Asta. Natasha, already early on. I'm gonna let you guys know right now. Natasha is gonna be ranked very high. Very high. I am a big fan of Natasha. She is voiced by Elizabeth Maxwell, who is my favorite voice actor, probably of all time. Yanqing over Qin at this point. Yanqing's character was just too good, and she point X. So crazy to say. Because Yanqing used to be one of my least favorite characters in Star Rail, right up there with like Arlon, and now he is very much so not. Silverwolf has definitely risen a lot for me, and so has Jing Yuan recently. Both of these characters I feel like I've come to appreciate a lot more with time. That said, Silverwolf just got a new form. Her trailers were super fun. Her improv tour trailer in particular was fantastic. And she's just Stellaron Hunter, so it's Silverwolf. Luca is one of the best written 4-stars in this game, but come on. This is unfair. This is just a tough matchup to be in for your first matchup. So it is Kafka. Topaz Gunaifen. Topaz is going to be ranked pretty high, I think. I love her design. I think she's a far more interesting character than a lot of people give her credit to. I was a big fan of her character in like the Trailblaze continuance story back in 1.x, right? When she goes to Belobog. I thought she was a pretty interesting character back then. It was one of the first characters that we ever got in Star Rail where the playable character wasn't exactly fully good, right? They were a grayer character from a morality perspective. So Topaz for me, also she's hot. Topaz is very attractive. Fun fact, Topaz is the character that got me into Star Rail. Really, Stone? Really? Very cool. Very cool. For me, that was Himeko, obviously. So, I feel like every one of us had a character that got us into the game. For me, it was Himeko. For you, it was Topaz. For Goldie, it was Kafka. And for everyone else, well, feel free to post your first favorite character in chat. So, guest, did you end up reading or trying Tune Into the Midnight Heart? Fantastic manga. Would highly recommend it to everyone. Random, got into Star Rail for Branya. Great character to get into Star Rail for. Great character. That Branya was like the first main story focused character in Belobog. Because I don't think, I guess if you were to say if anyone had main story focus in the Herta space station, it was the Trailblazer, I guess. I don't know. Guess the art is a hell of a lot better. Yeah, the manga is just so good. So good. Highly recommend to anyone who might be watching the VOD afterwards. Tune Into the Midnight Heart. It's a harem romance manga. I know harems might scare people, but it is a fantastic manga. So good. So, Stone, I know that you dislike Ron May. I don't dislike Ron May. I think Ron May is very cool. That said, Ron May is going to be losing here because to a lot of people's surprise, I am a very big Dr. Ratio fan. I love his character. I think he's super interesting. He's well voice acted. I think his personality is very charismatic, very entertaining. Love Ratio. He's going to be ranked pretty highly. So, guessed way more enjoyable for me. Yeah. I read the manga while I was in Cancun. Like that was one of the many mangas that I downloaded to read while I was on vacation. And out of I think I downloaded like 5 manga that I read during vacation. Out of all the manga that I read on vacation, that was easily my favorite. Easily. I was glued to my phone when I started reading the manga. Like I remember at one point my mom was like, "Hey, stop reading manga." And I was like, "I don't want to. I want to keep reading." So Random, have to go right now because of time zones. Have a good night, everyone. Hey, Random, thank you for coming through as always. I appreciate you making time at the end of your night for us. As always, Random, it was a pleasure. Take care, my man. Have a good night's rest. So, Stone, it's because in her release patch, she kind of tried to play God, but that's what makes her interesting, Stone, for me personally. But we're going for Ratio here, for sure. Akron, Misha. Look, Misha's character was dope in Penacony. I did not expect to like Misha as much as I did, but this is one of the best characters in the game from like a storytelling perspective, so Akron for sure. Firefly, Boot Hill. Boot Hill, you're awesome, but she isn't in my top 3. She was once my favorite character in the game. I have 2 very large Firefly figures that are behind me as we speak, and I have her sword hanging on my wall. This choice is clear. It's going to be Firefly automatically until we get to a very specific matchup. Fei Xiao, Ling Sha. Ling Sha, I need to see more of her in the story. This is easily Fei Xiao. Fei Xiao is cool. She's an aura farmer. She was well written in my opinion, so Fei Xiao for sure. Herta Fugue. So, here, hold on, Stone. Sorry. Cursing should not be auto-modded in my channel. I'm gonna have to go back and lessen the auto-mod, I think. Wait, you have her fucking sword? I do. I was not the one who bought it. It was a birthday present from guess who, Stone. Guess who gifted me Firefly sword? Hell, we can take a look. Indeed. I've shown it on stream before. In fact, you should have seen it, Stone, every single time you've ever watched me. It's right here. Ugh. Firefly sword. Let me like angle it as best as I can, but I need to be able to talk to the microphone. Very cool. One of Goldie, genuinely one of the best presents I've ever received. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful. That should be good enough for now. I'll reposition the sword, realign it later. So, Goldie, can you get me Cyrene bow now for Christmas? I'll try to find one, but I feel like that's going to be several hundreds of dollars. So, I don't know about that one, Chief, but back to the ranking. So Herda and Fugue. So to me, the answer is very clearly Fugue. Again, Fugue going to be ranked pretty damn high. I fell in love with Ting Yun's character in 2.8. I think a big reason why I ended up loving Ting Yun so much is because I never bought into like the Ting Yun love back during 1.x, like when she died and stuff. I was like, I don't really care about this character all that much. And then she ended up dying and everyone was like, whoa, they killed a playable character. Now it's just like, I don't know. But then they gave her the writing that they did in 2.8 and not 2.8, sorry, 2.7. And I fell in love with her character. I fell in love with her design. I think Fugue is awesome. Look, Herda is dope as well. We were just talking about her earlier, but to me, this is pretty clearly Fugue. Oh shit, we have a link. Hold on. I need to catch up with chat here really quick. Golda, you say that like anything. He tried to copy and paste something different, but it didn't work. God, I just saw a Cyrene book costing $200. I meant to copy the link. I figured though. Let's take a look. Why not? Oh wait, I did not. I did not switch back to the overlay. Sorry about that. Hold on. We can undo last choice. Oh, I forgot to do. Okay, we're going to start over because I need to be able to undo. Thankfully, we didn't start that. We didn't start. And I'm pretty sure it's the same order. We need to deselect that. Like, oh, shit. Thank you. Hold on. We're gonna really quickly fast forward. Yeah, so Asta, Natasha, Yangqing, Silver Wolf, Kafka, Topaz, Ratio, Acheron, Firefly, Fei Xiao, and then this is where we left off. For me, this is Fugue. But let's take a look at Goldie's link here really quick to this Cyrene bow. I mean, it's 200. Oh, you want just the arrow, Goldie? This is not $200. If you want the bow, that's quite a bit more, my friend. You guys trying to con me out of all my cash. Trying to con me out of everything that I own. You and Stone are working together. Trying to fucking make me spend a whole fucking half rent payment on fucking Cyrene bow. I know, I'm just fucking with you guys. But god, that's a cool bow. But no. No, good luck, Goldie. Maybe I'll get you the arrow. Even then, $200 for a present is a lot. Yeah, he wants me to sell one of my organs, bro. He wants me to sell one of my organs. No, sir. All right, we're going to be going with Fugue here. Anaxa Castoris. So to me, this is really the first like really good close match that we have here. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is Castoris for me. Steva, what's going on? Welcome in, my friend. Happy Monday. Happy start to the week. Welcome in, Stevo. We've got a pretty decent house today. We've got, well, Random ended up having to leave, but Guest, if you're still around, we've got Guest on YouTube and Stevo, Stone, Goldie in Twitch. So pretty decent cast here today. Haven't missed a lot, Stevo. We're just getting started. We're only 4% of the way through. But yeah, this, as everyone is saying in chat, this is Castoris for me. I think Anaxa, his patch was very cool, but to me, Castoris just really hit some very particular emotional strings with her story in 3.0. I thought Castoris was awesome in 3.0. All the stuff with her and Nikador, well, Nias back then, but Nikador, right, was fantastic. And her animated short, in my opinion, is extremely strong. There are days where I think to myself that I prefer Castoris' animated short over like Fireflies or Finons or like some of the action-based ones, right? Like the emotions behind it are just so powerful. So clearly Castoris here for me. So this one's interesting because this one to me is a battle of the character writing versus a battle of the character design, right? Like to me, Saridra is one of my favorite designs in the entire game. I honestly think that Saridra is probably like a top 3, top 5 design for me in the entire game. I think Saridra has an incredible design. That said, Hycelin's actually, I think, is a very underrated character. And hold on, I'm going to try to go reference my old list and whatever. Hycelin's, to me, I think is very underrated. I loved her dynamic with Aglaya. I think Hycelin's Aglaya dialogue was some of the best dialogue in all of Amphorius. Her dialogue in general is very, very good. I think Hycelin's has some of the best dialogue in Amphorius, and she was written, I think, really well alongside, her relationship with Ceridra. Just really strong character, in my opinion. Underrated character. This one to me is Hycelin's. As much as I love Ceridra's design, I just think her character was a very difficult character to write. And even though they accomplished some of the goals with her character, I think that they wanted to accomplish, to me, Hycelin's is much better written. So, well, you should have guessed I'd be here, to be honest. That is very true. You've been looking forward to this for a long time. Fun fact, none of the Chrysos Heirs animated shorts are my number one animated short. No, me neither. At this point, it is Himeko's animated short, I think. It's either that or Ripples of Past Reverie, right? Those are the clear number one and number two for me. But I have watched Himeko's animated short on pretty much a repeat since I watched it at the start of the week. I love... Himeko's trailers are honestly rising very quickly for me. Goldie, are you still here? There might be a scenario where I put Himeko's trailers above some other trailers that might be surprising for some people. For you, it's a tie between Sparkles and Fireflies. Sparkles animated short. Really? That is a... Goldie, I'm halfway here. Okay, fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. I have a feeling I know what you're doing. You know my favorite trailers? Yeah. Finon Cyrene's. Cyrene Finon's in that order. So... All right, Sparksy Yao Guang. Look, Sparksy's cool. I have her on my account, which is surprising. But Yao Guang was the non-Himeko character I was most excited for going into PLANARCADIA, and she, I think, has been awesome. I think Yao Guang is super fun, entertaining, interesting. She had a great moment in 4.4, and she has a fantastic design. Yao Guang, again, one of my favorite character designs in Star Rail, for sure, going to be ranked pretty highly, I think. All right, like I said, fake characters are going to be at the bottom of the list, not because I don't like them, but because they are not Honkai Star Rail characters. I'm going to pick Rin, just because I do like Rin more than I like Gilgamesh, but they're going to be at the bottom. All right, like I said, these two characters are the same character for me. I'm going to pick Kalis because that's the Trailblazer that I use. But that does not mean that I prefer Kalis over Stell or that I prefer Stell over Kalis. To me, these are the same character. I am picking Kalis simply because that is the character that I use in my account. They are the same character to me. They are equal. Dan Heng, March 7th. Well, getting to the Express now, are we? Potentially Himeko appearing soon. To me, this one used to be a bit closer than what it before. To me, this is a clear answer. I'm actually going to have to disagree with you for the first time, Stone. I used to have March above Dan Heng because I thought March's personality was more fun, more engaging. I thought her character was more interesting, and I wasn't a big fan of the Xianzhou and 1.x, so Dan Heng didn't necessarily hit for me that much. So, Stevo, are we speaking trailers in general or animated shorts specifically? Both, I would say. I was talking about trailers in general, but Himeko's animated short, I'm pretty sure, is my favorite. It's either that or Ripples of Past Reverie. It's pretty close. So, but also her character trailer, again, also very high up there. Probably number 3 behind Cyrene and Finon. But what happened in 3.6 with Dan Heng? To me, it's the opposite, Stone. What happened in 3.6 of Dan Heng was beautiful. He honestly might have been my favorite part of 3.6. The whole sequence with him and Dan Feng in the grotto, right, where they eventually talk to fuck, I forgot his name. Goldie, Big Dragon's name. Big Dragon's the Chrysos heir. Can someone please give me the name? Terravox, thank you. His scene with Terravox, I thought was super good. And a lot of people don't give love to Dan Heng's animated short, which I understand. It's not the most flashy of animated shorts. I think it's very stylistic. I think it's beautiful. I think the music really hits. Dan Heng here, pretty easily for me. 3.6 took Dan Heng from me from a character that I really liked to a character that I loved. And so there we go. So Goldie, best videos HSR have from me. And then we have Cyrene Psychosis. I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you guys want to read Goldie Psychosis, it's right up there. What would you be willing to sacrifice? Everything. True. Stone, the Terravox part isn't actually my favorite Dan Heng related bit from 3.6. I would agree. I would say that there are other Dan Heng parts that are better, but just in general, Dan Heng at 3.6 was fantastic. So this is Dan Heng. Here she is. She's here, guys. There she is. This, I know, like I said, Himeko Nova, Standard Banner Himeko, they're one and the same. To me, they're equal. So this is, I can say it now, my favorite character in the game. So she will be clicked every time you see her unless I misclick, which I'm going to try not to. It is Himeko over Welt. Love you, Welt, but this is not close. Asta Herda. Herda, even in her puppet form, is more entertaining, more charismatic than Asta. So yeah, Herda here for sure. And also, again, I actually was, now that I think about it, is Herda like the rest of the SPs? Should I consider Puppet Herda the same as D Herda? Because that's one of the few SPs that I was going to consider separately, like Puppet Herda and D Herda being separate. But most of the time when we talk to Puppet Herda, it is just Herda herself. Like very rarely is it ever like a, automaton, like the Puppet Herda is operating on her own. So Goldie, Sparkle and Sparksy, Evernight and March. You think those are the only two that we should keep separate? Because I agree with Sparkle and Sparksy and Evernight and March. Those are very clearly, to me, separate characters. Should we do the same thing for Herda, or should we consider them this one and the same? I kind of don't really have a preference. I was going to consider them different, but I will consider them one and the same if you guys think we should. So I think they're the same in game, really. Okay, then I will consider them one and the same then. So every time you see Herda and D Herda, I will be considering them the same character. Branya Japar. To me, this used to be closer, but now I think Branya has separated herself. I just think the attention that she gets in the initial launch of the game and the story is very strong, and her relationship with Zila is very, very engaging, very charming, entertaining in many ways, and I also think she has my preferred design. So Goldie, like, I don't see it as asking you to rank the puppet, lol. Fair enough. Wow, here we go. More Bellabog heavy hitters. I love Serval as well. She should have joined the Express, in my opinion. I know her character arc made perfect sense in her character quest to not join the Express. I would have rewritten her character arc to have her joining the Express. I think she is super cool. That said, Natasha all the way. Natasha is going to be ranked very highly. Goldie will tell you how much I love Natasha. So this one is very close. I'm going to actually bring up my previous list here to see where I had this, because I'm pretty sure this was a switch. Yeah, so I used to prefer Serval over Pela once upon a time back during the game's launch. And now it's the opposite. I actually think I prefer Pela over Serval. Pela is voiced by Xantha Hune. I think that's how I pronounce her name. I apologize if I mispronounce it. She shares the same voice actor as my favorite character of all time, Altina Orion from the Trail series. I think her story with Lynx in that moment where she starts crying over her mom is a beautiful, very underrated moment in Honkai Star Rail. So I do think Pela barely edges out Serval at this point for me. So, and actually I take back my previous statement after rewatching all the shorts. My favorite one goes to Dan Heng ILs. Ooh. So Dan Heng IL, favorite animated short. Very cool. This one is a clear choice for me. Look, you guys might like Hook. I have never, ever bought into Hook. I just don't really think she's all that funny. I think her design is okay, and I don't think she has that strong of a character. To me, Clara is the infinitely better Belobog daughter. I think she's more interesting. I think she's got the better design. I think she's way cuter, and her relationship and character dynamic with Svarog is super cute. And also, the Clara light cone is one of the best light cone arts in the game. I love her. Hold on. HSR Clara light cone. This is honestly a top 3 light cone art in the game. This is so adorable. I love this light cone so much. It is one of the top 3 light cones in the game, in my opinion. So good. So clearly Clara for me. Now this one's a bit more interesting. Sampo versus Yang Ching. Goldie would be raving at his mouth to click Sampo here. But for me personally, let me take a look at the list. Yeah. For me personally, Sampo is cool, but I don't feel the same hype and excitement over Sampo that a lot of people do. So this one's clearly Yanqing. So Hook can go in the trash stone. I wouldn't necessarily say Hook should go in the trash, but I do think that she is going to be toward the end of the list. Looking at Qin Shi, I want to take a look at what I thought of Qin Shi before, because I used to love this character, and I still think she's pretty cool. But I actually don't know if she's going to be ranking all that highly this time around. I just think she needs a bit more screen time and actual character writing. She does have a bit of character writing. I'm not going to say she doesn't have any character writing. She's got a few moments with Fu Xuan where her character actually is able to be vulnerable for a little bit, where you're able to kind of glean some insights into her. But yeah, where did I have Qin Shi before? I don't think it was going to be that high. I actually can't really find her on my list, which probably means that she's ranked pretty low. So yeah, I actually think I might go Sampo here. I think I'm going to. Bailu Shushang. Bailu's not going to rank too highly, but I do think she's pretty decent. Her moment with Dan Heng at Scale Gorge Waterscape in her character quest. Well, I think it's technically Dan Heng's character quest. I think is pretty cute. I think it's pretty sweet. Her potentially being Bai Heng's reincarnation is also pretty interesting. So yeah, Bailu here pretty easily. Not the biggest fan of Shushang's character, unfortunately. Serverwolf Zila. All right, now we're getting into something a bit more interesting here. Zila is pretty cool, but to me, what makes Belobog interesting, what makes her character dynamic with Bronya so good, is mainly Bronya. I like Zila, but to me, this is clearly Silverwolf. So, well, let me recorrect myself. I watched all the shorts except Himeko Nova's. I still need to watch it. I didn't watch it before the 4.4 story because the title scared me. It spoiled the 4.4 story. Now, you can watch the animated short before the story. It was not in the story, so you're good to go. It is my favorite animated short, I think, in the game. It's either that or Ripples of Past Reverie. It's pretty close. But to me, I think I've earned the right to be a little bit biased, right, with Himeko. So, to me, it is an animated short for Himeko. That is my favorite in the game. Okay, we're finally 10% of the way through. Oh, this is gonna be a long stream, isn't it? So we've got Jingyan and Zila. Let me take a look at what I had previously, because I actually think this might be Jingyan at this point. Yeah, I had Jingyan ahead of Zila before, and I think that stays true, which is not, I think, consistent with how I initially felt with their characters. Initially, I for sure think I liked Zila more than I liked Jingyan. But I mean, come on. Jingyan, voiced again by Alejandro Saab, one of the best voice actors in the industry. He's charismatic. He's badass. He can play multiple different roles in the story. He can be more casual and laid back, or he can be one of the main chess players on the board. He is very cool. His character trailer, I think, is very strong. I think it's pretty underrated. And animated short with him and Jing Liu is beautiful. The Flash, one of the best OSTs in Star Rail. So, gonna be Jingyan. So, yeah, I just watched it and it's now number 1. I don't know why, but when I was watching Himeko short, it felt like I was watching an HI3 cutscene. It's the same style. It's the same style as Honkai Impact the Third for sure. For sure. Stevo, with how Yao Guang joked around that Qin Shi will replace her, I hope that Yao's disappearance will be used to give her a bit more development. Stevo, 1000% I agree. I hope that we get some Chincha screen time and potentially even a Chincha SP because she is very funny and I would love to give her the screen time and characterization that she deserves. This is Jingren. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let me get it. I need to take a drink of water because this is going to be the most contentious part of this entire stream, I think. Okay. All right. I need you all to understand the stone. Listen, everyone listen. Everyone who's rewatching the VOD on Twitch or YouTube, listen. This is probably going to be the most shocking placement for anyone's tier list that you will find on the internet. I adore Yukong. I think Yukong legitimately could still be one of my 10 favorite characters in this entire game. Yukong is fantastic. Now, Stone, she is well above Locha. She is not above Locha. She is well above Locha. This is not close. She is going to be fighting for the top 10 and Locha's going to be like in the middle, like towards the end. Like, look, bro, Locha is cool and he's going to be very important later down the line. Like, very important. I have played HI3. Look, Locha might be Void Archives. I fully see that, right? Locha could be Void Archives. We don't know, right? And Auto Apocalypse is one of the best characters in Hoyoverse history. But guess what? Locha is not Auto Apocalypse. We know that for a fact. So, Auto Apocalypse, I agree. If this was Auto Apocalypse versus Yukong, the answer might be different. But I love Yukong. Her character quest was, I think, the first time in Star Wars, aside from, like, you know, Wildfire, where I was like, fully, excuse me, apologies. Yukong's character quest might be the first time in Star Rail aside from Wildfire where I was just like, holy shit, this is some amazing. Yeah, Goldie, I am a Yukong mega fan. I know I haven't talked about it a lot because when do I ever get the chance to? This character gets no screen time. What the fuck, Hoyoverse? Can we give one of the best characters in the game from a, especially for a 4-star? Like, her character quest was so good and we just refuse to use her character. It makes me so sad. I fully understand that this is such a hot take, but fuck me, man. I love Yukong. She's going to rank very highly. Very highly. Kafka Blade, look, man, still around Hunter Battle, but clearly the answer is Kafka. Blade's risen a lot for me. I used to not like him very much because I'm not a big fan of like psycho edgy characters. But Blade is the farthest away from a psycho edgy character that you can get. Like, they completely betrayed my expectations of Blade. And thank God they did, because he is a great character. But Kafka is one of the best characters in the entire game. She's amazing. She's going to be top 10. I'm telling you guys right now. Her SP will be one of the few characters that we have remaining that I can really get excited for. So Kafka, for sure. This one's a bit more interesting. I kind of want to see what I had in my previous list. Okay, so I had Blade higher than Luca. I actually think Luca's kind of been a roller coaster for me. When after the event with the war dance, Luca was very high for me. Then he kind of lowered a bit. Now I feel like Luca's going higher again for a bit for me. So I do think I'm going to rank Luca pretty highly on this list. That said, the answer is clearly Blade. The better design, I think at this point, the better character after what we got in 4.3. And absolutely, when it comes to character dynamics, the best character. He is fabulous with the Stellaron Hunter girls. He is their uncle. He is their dad. He is super fun and entertaining. Just go watch Silver Wolf's character trailer. That's everything that you need to know. So, Goldie, Yukong's character quest is the most well done one in HSR. Yes, I agree. 1000. I think she has the best character quest. Also, Star Rail, please give us more character quests, please. So she has my third favorite companion quest out of everyone from the Loft. Third favorite is crazy, Stone. She has the best companion quest in Star Rail, in my opinion. The best one, not just in the Lafu, the best one. Stefan, unless they actually say Locha is Void Archives and explore it beyond the he looks sus to Welt, I doubt Locha will ever be above Yukong. I don't think Locha will ever be above Yukong, even if he is Void Archives. Which I know is crazy. But I just like I said, Yukong's companion quest is just such great storytelling. It just is. I just love it. So, still subscribe to Locha being Void Archives, but I rate him in HSR based on what he has done in HSR. Wait, that's not what I typed. Lol, I said Welt. Oh, okay. My bad. Yukong character quest is the most Welt has done in HSR. Oh, I completely misread that, which is honestly, it is true. So I have Yanqing's and Yunli's above hers. Okay, that one is pretty good. I won't be too angry because Yanqing's has, Jinglu, and Yunli's does do a lot for her character arc, but no, Yukong is my favorite. Fu Xuan, Lynx, I'm sorry. I wasn't really ever buying into your character. Her moment in the story kind of went to Pela more than it went towards her. Fu Xuan has some nice moments with March 7th. She, has got some good chemistry with Jing Yan. They're entertaining together, right? And, she basically made Kafka her bitch. She was like rudimentary and fucking deflected a bullet. That was pretty cool. So, Goldie, my favorite companion quest is probably March, very lore filled. It was very lore filled. So, Fu Xuan here. Jing Liu has been quite the rise for me. Goldie will tell you guys, despite Jing Liu having one of my favorite character designs in the entire game, I love her character design. She was never ranked that high for me because I just did not like her role in the story. I just she hardly gets anything, and what little she gets wasn't that entertaining. That said, I have since come around to her character quite significantly. It helps that her design is amazing, but her role as Jing Yan's mentor in the animated short was incredible. The High Cloud Quintet flashbacks that we've gotten have gotten better and better over time. And look, she was somewhat interesting in Yanqing's character companion quest. So yeah, she is pretty high. Like, she went from what I would say was pretty low on my list to now being somewhere in the middle of the pack. I still don't think she's going to be that crazy high for me, but she has definitely risen a lot. That said, Topaz every day of the week. Jing Liu over Guanifan. Huahua versus Argenti. This is a pretty good matchup. I'm not going to go too deeply into this one because I don't care too much about either one of their characters. But to me, as fun as Argenti is, because he is super fun, I think Huahua's event, the ghost hunting event, was actually pretty damn good. Like all the stuff with Cirrus and stuff. And her relationship with Tail, that entire character dynamic is very sweet. And she's gotten some pretty good character development. Also, she hard carries a lot of my teams these days, so Huahua it is. So, and also just finished watching Himeko short, and I may have cried a bit. It's going to become automatic crying like me with Cyrene short. Absolutely, bro. 1000%. My favorite animated short in the game, that or Ripples of Past Reverie. I think it's close, but I'm pretty sure it's Himeko's. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you guys are probably shaking your head behind your screens. Of course it's his favorite game. Let me live. Let me be biased towards Himeko, please. Just a little. Okay, Ratio Hanya. This is truly, I think, the first hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby we've had on the list so far. This is not close. Look, Hanya, I'm sorry. You have been done dirty by the Honkai Star Rail riders. You have next to nothing. Whereas Ratio is just, in my opinion, one of the most underrated characters in the game. This is Ratio by a country mile. Ron May, Black Swan's going to be pretty high. She used to be top 5 for me. I don't think she is quite top 5 anymore. She was top 5 for me around the time Pennyconey was coming out. She was the reason I got back into Star Rail, which I will always love her for. I think she's got one of my favorite character designs in the game. Like I said, she's one of the most attractive characters in the game. But there's a few aspects of the design that do put me off. But her coming to Amphorius or boarding the Express temporarily was awesome. I wish she joined. I understand why she didn't join the Express, but I wish she did. This is clearly Black Swan. She's going to be pretty high. Acheron Sparkle. Look, I've come around to Sparkle, okay? I've come around to Sparkle. I used to not like Sparkle really at all, especially back in Penacony. Her role in Amphorius so far has been really good. Not Amphorius. Her role in PLANARCADIA so far has been really good. I think her design is really solid, and she's got some of the best trailers in the entire game. Some of the best trailers in the entire game. That said, Acheron is the clear choice here. The clear choice here. I don't think it's particularly close. Acheron. I might have her ahead of Misha, though, now. I actually don't think I had Misha ahead. I did have Sparkle ahead of Misha, okay, previously, but by one spot. By one spot. And you know what? I think this spot's a bit higher. Sparkle. Oh, wow. We might have our second hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby right here. Adventuring Gallagher is unfair. This is just unfair. And I don't even really dislike Gallagher all that much. I think he's a fine character. I think he's a fine character for what he needed to do in the story. I will always remember at the end of 3.1, right? At the very end, not 3.1, of 2.1, right? After all the craziness with Aventurine and Acheron at the end of 2.1, Gallagher's moment with Sunday, that fucking cliffhanger, bro, that shit was fucking awesome. That said, this is one of the best written characters. Many would argue the best written character so far in the entire game of Honkai Star Rail. And listen, man, I love Aventurine. He is awesome. I just said he's well written, but even subjectively, he's attractive. He's hot. He's got some of the best scenes in the entire game. There's a reason why Aventurine became as popular as he did. He is amazing. Aventurine is going to be in my top 10 very easily. So, Aventurine. Again, Firefly versus Robin's pretty decent matchup here, but Firefly easily, but I love Robin. I think Robin is going to be ranked pretty damn highly as well. But Firefly, incredible. You guys know how much I love Firefly. It's Firefly every day of the week. Stone, my love for Swan grew during Amphorius. I agree. I think Black Swan boarding the Express and being a passenger throughout Amphorius did a lot for her character, and I'm very happy that she did. So Gallagher did also give us one of the most memed HSR lines in existence. True. Gallagher, supposedly very young. Stevo, I have irrational like for Gallagher due to him being a history fictionologist. Well, fair enough, Stone. Fair enough. I mean, the history fictionologists are very interesting. And well, he was the very first one that we got introduced to into the story. So Robin Boot Hill. Now, this is a matchup. I'm pretty sure Robin's ahead of Boot Hill. I like Robin a lot. I haven't talked about my love for Robin a lot, but she is very cool. I liked her even before the moment that we got with her and Sunday in 2.7. And just consistently, I think Robin's been a very strong character. Boot Hill, you could really say the same about. Consistently, he's been a very strong character. We obviously, there's this whole thing with his past, with, you know, his indigenous race and Oswaldo Schneider from the IPC. He's really funny. He's got some fantastic character interactions. Andrew Russell voices Boot Hill phenomenally. Just really, really good characters, both Boot Hill and Robin. I don't think they're fighting for like the top 10. I think they're probably somewhere between like the top 20 to top 30. I think Robin for sure is a bit higher, but both fantastic characters. Robin for me takes it though. Yunli Jade. You would expect me to be very down bad for Jade, right? Because she is a mommy character, right? She is a mommy. Like, we can all acknowledge that. But I do think her character's a bit weak. Just a bit weak. Just a little bit. Let me take a look at where I had her. Okay, she's kind of middle of the pack. Whereas Yun Li, I think, actually is a pretty decent character. I don't think she's amazing, but like Stone said earlier, she's got a pretty decent companion quest. I think she is pretty fun with Yanqing in the 2.x Xianzhou story. So for me, this is kind of a battle between what I think Yun Li is the better character. I do think she is the better character versus Jade being the far preferred design for me, like easily the more preferred design, and also the potentially more interesting character. I do think I had Jade above Yun Li last time. I think that stays true. I do think I have Jade above Yun Li, but I think it's closer than when I had it last time. Fei Xiao Zhao Cho. Zhao Cho, underrated character. Let me say that straight up. He is an underrated character. He has some pretty great writing, I will say, and some really solid trailers as well. That said, I'm not a fan of his type of designs. Yeah, he is basically a hot pot Kazuha. He is a hot pot Kazuha. I will say, I love his voice actor. I think Zhao Cho's voice actor is one of my favorites. But this is Fei Xiao. I think Fei Xiao has equally, if not better, writing than Zhao Cho. She's also got the rule of cool. She's got the better design. Fei Xiao. I do think, though, Zhao Cho is above Ling Sha. Even though I like Ling Sha's design better, I have to respect the far better writing. Moza and Rappa. I have two characters in this game that I actively dislike. Two characters that I feel like the game would not miss them if they were not in the game. Those are Arlon, which makes me sad because Arlon does have dark skin and dark skin representation, right? Always want to see that in Hoyoverse. But unfortunately, Arlon does next to nothing for the game in the story. And Moza. Not a big fan of Moza at all. He's going to be He is going to be ranked ahead of Arlon, but he is going to be the second to last character in the game. Wow, here we go. We got some heavy hitters again, Fugue and Sunday. This one is obvious, which is crazy to say with how much I love Fugue. But Sunday is my favorite character that is not one of the top three. I have three favorite characters in the Star Rail, and they are in their own tier. It is Himeko, Firefly, Cyrene, in that order, and that is a separate tier. That is its own tier. Outside of that tier, outside of the top three, Sunday is at the very top. He is my fourth favorite character in the game. He was fantastic as an antagonist. He is fantastic as an Astral Express member, as a part of the main cast. He is interesting. He's got a great design. He's got a fantastic voice actor, regardless of what you think about, his outside of the professional aspect of voice acting. He's got a fantastic voice actor. Everything about Sunday is, in my opinion, just one of the best parts of what they've done so far in the Star Rail story. So it is Sunday here. I'm sorry, Fugue. I won't be picking that often against Fugue, but it is Sunday. Goldie, I am the number one Arlen man, but please replace the A with CY, L with R, A with N, and add an E onto the end. Actually, I still read that as Arlen, unfortunately. So I guess you're an Arlen main now, Goldie, huh? So yeah, PLANARCADIA made me love Sunday even more. Sunday has been fantastic, just start to finish. So Tribby Aglaya. So this is where I get to talk about my love for Aglaya a bit more. I think I mentioned it earlier. I think Aglaya is underrated. She should have gotten more screen time. I think she is one of the better Chrysos heirs. She was going into 3.0 outside of Cyrene, probably the character I was most excited for from a storytelling perspective. Like I remember watching the Golden Epic trailer and really getting excited for Aglaya's character. I was so worried after 3.0, even though I didn't think Aglaya was that bad in 3.0. I thought her character was interesting even in 3.0. But I was so worried that they wouldn't utilize this character's potential, that they would just leave her and forget her behind. Just you know what? It is what it is. But then we got the stuff with her and Cypher, and then we got the stuff with her passing the mantle of leadership onto Finon and her character death as well in 3.3, and all the stuff with her and Naxa in 3.2. And thank God, because she was fantastic. She, I think, is definitely going to be ranked very highly. This is Aglaya over Tribi any day of the week. Mighty and Castris. So, my new reviewers are going to be very surprised by this because I don't talk about him very much. But Goldie knows, and some of my older viewers know. This was my favorite character in Amphorius for a decent while. Like, before Cyrene got introduced in 3.4, Mighty was my favorite Cryososair. He was the character I was excited for throughout 3.0, 3.1, 3.2. And, 3.3 for the most part. So at that point in 3.3, Cyrene gets, brought in, and I was like, oh, Cyrene. But even though I knew Cyrene was going to be my favorite from the very beginning, which she is easily, Mighty he had his time in the spotlight. This is a landslide for me. Mighty is fighting for the top 5. I don't know if he's going to be there or not, but all I can say is in my previous ranking, he was in the top 5. So just keep that in mind. Mighty any day of the week. I love you, Castris. Genuinely, I love you, but it's Mighty. Hyacinth Cypher. This is a battle of the design versus the character for me, even though I love Hyacinth's design. But I've talked about this before. I think Cypher is one of the most attractive gacha characters of all time. Which really came out of nowhere, dude. Came out of nowhere. I did not think they were going to design Cypher to be as attractive as she is. She is super attractive, but also a very surprisingly great character. Like, I don't think any of us expected Cypher to be so compelling. Her whole scene with her lie being what protected Akuma the entire time, her, relationship with Aglaya, her dynamic with Zagreus, I thought were all fantastic. I was not expecting to like Cypher as much as I did. And again, she is incredibly, incredibly nice to stare at. I'm sorry if I'm being down bad. So, on the other hand, you have Hyacinth, in my opinion, one of, if not the best static character in the game. There are 2 different types of characters that you can have in a story. You can have a static character or a dynamic character, generally speaking. A dynamic character is the majority that you see. A dynamic character is a character that is written with the intent to change. Maybe not positively, maybe negatively. A dynamic character is a character who is supposed to change. A static character is a character who is not expected to change, who is written into the story for a specific role. And Hyacinth might be one of the best static characters in all of HSR, if not the best. And on top of that, she does develop. She absolutely changes as a character. She gains her confidence. She proves herself during the trial to Celiosi. That said, she was intended to be, for the most part, a static character, and she is wonderful as it. You guys might be surprised in chat. This is Hyacinth pretty easily for me. So, Stone, top 20 Cyrene on Zealand, top 100 on Fribbles. Hell yeah. Goldie is ascending the Cyrene build ladder. Hopefully I will be able to do the same with Himeko. Half of my top 20 is just Chrysos Heirs, not gonna lie, Stone. I mean, the Chrysos Heirs are fantastic, so. I would put Aglaya higher on my list if they didn't kill her off so quickly. I personally think they killed her off at the perfect time, so. Stone Bros, a furry confirmed. Cypher is not a furry. She has two furry qualities. She's got cat ears and a cat tail, and that's it. She's got no fur anywhere on her body that we know of, because she is wearing clothes. So in Cypher, actually my number 1 Chrysos Heir in terms of personality. She is wonderful. She truly is wonderful. Goldie, Hyacinth is my favorite heir that isn't Cyrene in Finon, and you'll be surprised, but I think Cass is second. Well, you picked some fantastic choices. That said, Goldie, this is mighty hatred, mighty erasure. All right. The man, the myth, the legend himself is here. Finon Kaslana, whatever you want to call him. He is what many people, I think what most people would say, is objectively the best written character in the entire game, right? If you ask people, right, on average, who do you think is the best written character in Star Rail, you're going to get a mix of like Finon, Aventurine, right? You're going to get a mix of, you're probably going to get a little bit of like Kafka as well, or something like Herda, I know is said to be very well written. Finon is, honestly, in my opinion, this might be as a surprise to you guys, the best male character in Honkai Star Rail. I know that I like Sunday more. I like Sunday more than I like Finon. I do. But I do think Finon is the better character. I do think he is. I think he is objectively the best written character in the game. I do. And that's saying something, man, because you got some heavy hitters. You have some crazy heavy hitters. But everything about Finon's story is handled with the utmost care and precision. He is fantastic from the moment he's introduced to the very last that we see of him in the story. And he's going to be fantastic when we get him back in the story. 3.4, up until recently, was my favorite story patch. I think it is many people's favorite story patches. He has the best character trailer in the game, in my opinion. I think Finon's character trailer is lightning in a bottle. I think it is magic. I think Finon is incredible. Goldie, I did not tell you this on purpose. He is contending for the top 5, and he might honestly be ahead of Mighty for me. We shall see. I have gained a massive resurgence for Finon in recent days. He is incredible. We'll see who ends up winning, him or Mighty. Well, there she is. All right, here she is. Goldie, you can freak out in chat. There we go. Goldie Psychosis. Listen, man. What can I say about Cyrene? Obviously, Goldie is going to be going crazy in chat. Oh, hold on. Let me catch up here with chat really quick. Stone, I agree. For now, to me, Ash Vale has the potential to surpass him. I think, to me, the train has left the station for Ash Vale. To me, Finon very clearly above him. But yeah, Goldie, Finon was made in the lab for you, absolutely. When I first started streaming, I never expected to get any significant amount of viewership whatsoever. To this day, it boggles my mind that I have a video or a VOD on YouTube that has over 10,000 views, which is my 3.7 Honkai Star Rail Amphoria's VOD. The reason I bring this up is for this reason. Cyrene is what propelled my channel forward. She is. She is what made Gulio what it is today, for the most part. She defined this channel. I can't talk. Hold on. I'm losing my voice. Apologies. I'm losing my voice. Cyrene defined this channel for over a year. Or around a year. And she is, like I said, one of the top 3, one of the immovable top 3 that I have. She is my 3rd favorite character in Star Rail, my 5th favorite character of all time. She is, she holds something special to me in my heart. She is in many ways the reason why I'm here today still, the reason why I was able to take streaming and make it something bigger than what I ever thought it was going to be. And her story is incredible. Her role as the Demiurge is so interesting. Such a fantastic conceptual story idea. Her personality as both small Rini and, you know, the Demiurge Cyrene, super fun, very playful, very mischievous, just all in all, just super fun. Her dialogue, I know, can leave something to be desired in 3.7, but think about the Cyrene dialogue before 3.7, which is some of the best in all of Amphorius. Cyrene's dialogue before 3.7 is incredible. She had so many amazing moments from the start of the story as Mem till the end of the story as Cyrene and the Demiurge. She has, in my opinion, the second best animations in the game behind Himeko Nova. Just incredible, incredible character. Just wow. Just definitely just one of the, in my opinion, I know a lot of people dislike Cyrene, so I know this might be a hot take, but in my opinion, one of the shining beacons of Honkai Star Rail. Cyrene. So, this one is interesting. So, I'm going to tell you guys right now. The answer is Yao Guang. However, Constance or the Dahlia, I will be calling her the Dahlia. I think to me was one of the surprise things of 3.8. I really liked Dahlia's character. Excuse me. Like, obviously, 3.8 was, for me, all about Firefly, and for good reason. She's Firefly, one of my favorite characters ever. But I was really surprised at how much I ended up liking Dahlia's character. She got some genuine, serious character development. And who Dahlia became at the end of 3.8, I think is a character that I want to see back absolutely. A lot of us said, please join the Stellaron Hunters. She even wanted to join the Stellaron Hunters. I agree. Dahlia, join the Stellaron Hunters. I know she won't. I'm well aware that she's not going to. But I would love for her to join the Stellaron Hunters. Hey, the Astral Express got a new member. Why can't the Stellaron Hunters get a new member? Look, if it's not going to happen, but I would love to see it happen. So, my heart is racing. Of course it is, Goldie. Of course it is. So, and I get that, but they barely touched on how Ashvale's arm is connected to the Veracity. No, yeah, I think Ashvale is going to get more screen time later down the line. But in order to match Finon's character, you need to start early. You need to build up their character over a long period of time. Finon's scope as a character is already far beyond Ashvale's scope as a character. It's too late. In my opinion. Goldie, her dialogue only leaves a desire to hear more from me. God, I can't wait to replay Amphorius and have it archived finally. Well, I can't. I can certainly wait because I've been asking Goldie to stream a couple of things. Number one, Wuthering Waves. Number two, Seed's Agent Story in ZZZ, and he refuses to. So, hey, it's going to delay things even further. It's okay, Goldie. It's okay. I love you. You stream what you want, brother. I will always have bad feelings with 3.8 personally because half the quest just felt like a recap to me. I disagree with that notion entirely, but I can understand it. But to me, 3.8 was just a genuinely great story. But that might be my bias talking. That said, I've said why I love Yao Guang so much already. Yao Guang, to me, does edge out Dahlia, but I do really like Dahlia. She's going to be doing pretty well in these rankings. Yep, here we go. I like Dahlia over Sparksy, absolutely. Evanescia and Ashvale. We can talk about two characters that are going to be surprising, I think. Ashvale was very cool. I actually did end up liking him more than I expected to like him. That said, and here's something that I think Goldie will agree with me on. I am shocked at how little story focus they're giving the leader of the Galaxy Rangers. They're probably going to give him more down the line. I'm fully aware of that. But La Mancha was in lore for such a long time one of the premier HSR characters that we were all excited for. And for Ashvale to kind of be a character that he didn't get a Myriad Celestia, he didn't get an animated short, and he got a very short trailer that I like. His trailer is fine. But a character on the level of La Mancha, I feel, should be more than what we've been given so far with Ashvale. Like I said, I do like him. I do think I liked him more than what I expected to. But he needs more. He needs more. So I'm going to say right now, I don't think he's going to perform too well. He's probably going to be middle of the pack, maybe towards the lower end. I want to see more. I genuinely do. I think he's funny. I think, again, his voice actor, we all know his voice actor is really damn good because of who else he voice acted. But I do think I need to see more. So, Goldie, I love 3.8 personally. Me too. But I don't know if there's a story patch I didn't like. That is also true. Yeah, I kind of agree. It's like if Diamond comes in and only really spotlights for one patch. I still love the hell out of him, though. I think it's my I think I have the same opinion. So, yeah. The reason I wanted to say that was because it's the complete opposite with this next character. I'm going to say this now, and I probably will be saying it for the rest of the stream. This is the character of this stream that I think is going to have the highest rise. I think Evanescia, to me, I went into PLANARCADIA and 4.x expecting to like Evanescia. I was like, she's the Yay, Sakura, the, XP. She's going to get a lot of screen time, a lot of attention, right? She's going to get some Omega trailers, right? She's going to be the anniversary character. Everything about Evanescia is going to be dope, and I'm going to love her, right? And then all the stuff with the, political tension between China and Japan happened, and this character got shafted into oblivion, and I am so upset because of how much I ended up loving this character. She might be top 10. I love Evanescia. She is easily my favorite PLANARCADIA specific character, not named Asap Pramod and Himeko. Oh my goodness. I ended up loving her so much more than I thought I would. She is fantastic. She is entertaining. She has amazing dialogue. Every single character that she has any semblance of on-screen time with, she has chemistry with. I loved her dynamic with the Trailblazer. I loved her dynamic with March. I loved her dynamic with Yao Guang. I loved her dynamic with what little we got of, every other character in the game. Evanescia is fantastic. She got shafted. She needs more screen time. I hope one day they give her an SP because she deserves it. And Lord Jesus Christ, this character is going to rank highly. Bless you, Evanescia. We've arrived. We've arrived. The moment is here. The moment is now. Now, this isn't really a real choice because, like I said, I have to pick against the fake characters. And we've already selected Himeko. Like I said, to me, Himeko and Himeko Nova. Goldie, that's way too tame a reaction. Listen, brother, I don't think this is a stream for me to like really scream or yell. Like you guys know what I mean? Like this is a genuine like, let's talk about it. Let's let the words go. Let's let the words fly. But I'm gonna make up for it by talking about how much I love Himeko. So don't worry, right? Don't worry. I'm about to go on a soliloquy. I'm about to give a speech for a good 5-10 minutes because I gave a speech for Cyrene. I think I gave a speech for Firefly. If I haven't given a speech for Firefly, I'll give a speech for Firefly next time I see her. So, when I started playing Star Rail, I had no intention of ever playing beyond a single night. Beyond literally probably just 3 to 4 hours. I had pretty much sworn off all gacha games after Genshin. I was like, I'm never going to play a gacha game ever again. And look where I am now. Wait, hold on. Before I go on this speech, let me catch up. Stevo, I don't know how to put this other than I just did this ranking and Eva is third. Eva is incredible and I respect it, Stevo. I respect it. Goldie, you're welcome. Yeah. The reason I even installed Star Rail in the first place is because of Goldie. So fair credit to him. Fair credit to him. And I remember telling him, don't play it. Don't play it. It's a gacha game. It's going to be dangerous. If you're going to play any gacha game, you should play Genshin instead because at least we know that's a guarantee. At least we know that Genshin is entertaining. Flamer, what's going on? Guess I missed most of the ranking. We're only 20% of the way through, Flamer. Do not worry. We've still got plenty of the rankings. But welcome in. If I had listened, I wouldn't have Cyrene. It is very true. It's a good thing that Goldie did not listen to me. But okay, so let's go back. Flamer, you came at a good time because this is the first time that Himeko Nova is showing up. By the way, did I check out your ZZZ list? I have not checked it out yet, Flamer. I'm sorry. I'll try to give it a look later tonight. I have the list. Don't worry. I have the list. I will check it out later tonight. And don't worry, I also remember that was a design list specifically, not like your favorite characters. That was a design specific tier list. So Goldie starts playing Star Rail. I'd say, you know what? Screw it. What's, 3 to 4 hours of playing the game with him? At this point, I have immersed myself in Hoyoverse. I know about Genshin. I know about Honkai Impact the Third. This is just the next, game that they're releasing. I get into the game and I play through the introductory section, and it's incredible. I am shocked at how much I'm enjoying the game, right? But then I'm wondering, I remember very specifically wondering around the time March and Dan Heng show up, right? I was like, oh, I like these character designs. I wonder if they're 4 stars or 5 stars or S ranks or A ranks, right? And I started thinking, well, I actually don't know who's in this game. All right, if I'm gonna summon tonight, right, who do I want? Fast forward about 10 minutes, and we get to the part where Dan Heng, March, the Trailblazer, they're facing down a couple of Antimatter Legion during the very introductory segment of the game, and this drone comes out of nowhere, and I'm just like, oh, that's a cool drone. And then 5 seconds later, I see red hair and a mommy. And I'm just like, I like her. Wait a second. That looks a lot like Himeko from Honkai Impact the Third. My favorite Honkai Impact the Third character. I think at the time, I don't know if Alicia had taken over at that point yet. But I was like, that looks a lot like Himeko. And then again, 5 seconds later, hi, I'm Himeko. And at that point on, I lost my shit. I was like, it's a Himeko XP. And I basically, I remember I was on Discord with Goldie. I was like, Goldie, I want this character. This is the character I want. It's Himeko from Honkai. And Goldie, guys, had no idea what the fuck was going on because I had never told Goldie about Genshin or Honkai Impact the Third really at all. I had told him a little bit, but I knew he wasn't really into gacha games. So I was just like, oh, I'm not going to really mention it to him that much. Right. And I'm like, Goldie, it's Himeko. And he's like, who the fuck is Himeko? I'm just like, it's Himeko. He was like, oh, the red haired girl. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I was like, no, you don't understand. It's Himeko. They brought her back. And at that point, I'm just freaking out. And I'm like, I want this character at all costs. It doesn't matter if I'm only going to play tonight. I want this character. And so fast forward again through the whole introductory segment. And we get to the point, right? You guys know that once you kind of finish the introductory segment of the game, you get to summon. But at the very start of Star Rail, for those of you guys who started Star Rail at the very beginning, there was a beginner banner. Basically, if you did 50 summons, which were discounted, you could get 10 characters for every 8 tickets that you had. And it was 50 total summons. So basically, it was going to cost you 8 times 5. That's what, 35? No, that's 40. It would have costed you departure warp. Yes. It costed you, I think, 40 tickets to do 50 summons total. And at the end of those 50 summons, you would get a guaranteed free 5-star character from the standard banner. And I was like, oh my God. I hope I get Himeko. Because at this point, like I told you guys, I had played Genshin for a year at this point and then quit. I knew how awful my gacha luck was. I knew how just absurdly awful it was. So I was, in my mind, I'm already like, okay, I have one guaranteed 5-star character. I want Himeko. I had even looked at how good she was. I was like, I just want her. That's who I want. First 10 pool. Okay, here's a couple of 4 stars. Second 10 pool. I remember this very specifically. I got a light cone, nothing else. Oh, that's unfortunate. third 10 pool. Gold. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I'm like, I can't believe I just got a 5-star character. To me, I had hardly ever summoned in gachas and gotten that lucky before. 30 pools in, third 10 pool. Summons start coming onto the screen. 1, 2. Oh, there's a 4-star. I forget who it is, but it was a 4-star. And I'm like cycling through. And I get to the 9th pool. It was the 9th pool, I'm pretty sure. Not the last one, but pretty close. Gold. And then I see red hair and a white dress and orange golden eyes. And I lost it. There's a screenshot of that I sent Goldie after this moment happened. And actually, it's not a screenshot. I don't know why I did this, but I took a picture with my phone. Like, I didn't take a screenshot of me having summoned Himeko. Like, I took my phone out and I took a picture of my screen and I sent it to Golden. And I was like, I'm crying. And I was not joking. I had tears in my eyes because I had never gotten really, it had been a long time since I played a gacha game. And when I had previously played a gacha game at that point, I got very unlucky. It's one of the reasons why I quit Genshin is because I got unlucky at one point. And to get Himeko the way I did in that fashion, in that manner, it was a special moment for me. And the rest is history. I did not only play that one night. I played many nights after. And look where we are here today with Himeko Nova and all these fantastic trailers and 4.4. And it was just, it's been a wild ride to think from that first night, right, to today, how far we've come. You know, I wasn't sure if we would ever get a Himeko SP. I was pretty sure we would. From the moment they announced Dun Hung and Baiba de Lune, I was like, they might do the same thing for each of the Astral Express members. And if they ever make a Himeko SP, oh my goodness, I will be front and center. And well, here we are today, man. Here we are today. My first ever E6, not just E6, E6 S5, probably my only Honkai Star Rail E6. We're almost certainly going to get Eldrada M6 in ZZZ. It's been a wild ride from day one of this game till now. She is my favorite character in the game. I just went on a speech for, I think, 5-10 minutes. Number 1. Let me catch up with you guys here really quick. Goldie Star Rail was really my first true experience, which I kind of love. Yeah, your very first true gacha experience. And now look at you with Mr. Gacha himself. Goldie, people assume I love Cyrene because Alicia. I'm like, who's Alicia? Departure War. Yep. Yeah, you were never. I mean, you fell in love with Cyrene because of her drip, and maybe a little bit before that with her like leak design. Yeah, Goldie likes Cyrene because of Cyrene, not because of Alicia. Flamer, not gonna lie, I kind of wish they used the same ranking system as HI3 for continuity, but I guess 4-star and 5-star is simplified, and they also use Genshin as a base. Indeed. What is this? Yep, here we go. Here we go. I think I showed this on stream already, but I didn't show them like your response. So this is better. This is better than what I showed them before. This is literally the moment it happened. Me and Goldie both started playing. What's that? June? That's June 19th, 2023. And I don't think I screamed because it was pretty late at night and I didn't want to wake up my neighbors. But like I said, I had tears in my eyes when this happened. And you can see, this is not a screenshot. You can see the edge of my monitor here. I don't know why I didn't think to take a screenshot. Like, I guess I was just like so overwhelmed. I was like, I took a picture of my screen of my phone instead. Like, that's so funny to me. And yeah, Goldie at this point had basically been hearing for like 30 minutes to an hour how much I wanted this character. So, side note, base Zygarde. Zygarde is my my username on Discord. It's been my username on Discord for years, like almost a decade now, almost. So, Goldie, what about based Cyrene? Well, not quite Cyrene. You're Goldie, and then you've got CYRN. So, but close enough. Close enough. Goldie does have Discord Nitro. I am trying to resist getting Discord Nitro as long as I can. So, but the picture, yeah, the picture, you do have the profile picture. So, but yeah, the Himeko love, I am not lying, guys. It was day one, as OG as you can get, as OG as you can get. All right, back to this order because I need to fast forward this because we're approaching 2 hours, so we're gonna start going through this a bit quicker, right? All right, Trailblazer, Dan Hong. You guys might be surprised by this. I think it's Dan Hong for me. I truly did fall in love with Dan Hong after 3.6. I thought that whole section with him and Dan Feng was incredible, amazing animated short. So Dan Hong for me. I do think I like the Trailblazer more than I like March, so we're gonna do that. Again, to me, Himeko Nova, Himeko are the same thing. They're gonna be 1 and 2. Himeko Nova is my favorite version of Himeko, so she will be number 1 because Himeko Nova is, I think, my favorite design ever. So Himeko. I do like Welts more than I like Herda. I know people are shitting on Welt at the moment. I agree. I talked about it during my discussion stream. I wanted him to do more in 4.4. I was a bit sad. That said, I love all of the Astral Express members. I love Welt. I love his relationship with Honkai Impact the Third Himeko, and I love his relationship with current Himeko. Welt is going to be above Herda for me. Natasha! We're back with Natasha. She is above Branya. Ooh, now this is a heavy hitter. Well, not a heavy. This is a good matchup. This is a good matchup. Goldie, participate in too many servers to not have Nitro. That is very true. That is very true. My gut instinct tells me it's Pela. I kind of want to check what I had previously. What did I have previously? Yeah, I have her ahead of Branya by a pretty decent amount, actually. So maybe they've actually gotten a bit closer. But to me, it is Pela. So. Flamer, I don't really have good relics, so just threw on her my Anaxa build, plus some other relics I had lying around. It's pretty solid, my friend. I mean, hey, obviously you want to be using the more current relics, but this is going to, I mean, your crit is really solid. So your crit's good. But yeah, at one point you're going to want to get her on her signature relic set, obviously. So Flamer, tomorrow we will have a dedicated relic stream. So if you want to show up for that, we're gonna be doing like an hour to 2 hours of just farming and upgrading relics for Himeko. Should be fun. Serval Branya. This I think is a bit closer. Let me check what I had previously. So previously I did have Serval ahead of Branya. I don't know anymore. I like Serval's personality more, but I do think Branya's story was a bit more powerful. But then you ask me, who do you think is better written? And I say Serval. So even though Branya's emotion, you know, Branya's story is more emotional because of everything that happened in the main story, I think Serval was written just a bit tighter. So I think I'm gonna stick with Serval, but I do think it's pretty close. See, this one is interesting. This is a battle between, I think, the better character and just who I like more. Because Yanqing is the better character over Clara. But Clara is cute, and she's adorable, and she's wonderful, and we all love her. And for that reason, I do think that I have Clara ahead of Yanqing, but by a little bit. This is unfair. It's Yanqing. Again, Sampo, Chinchet, Silverwolf over Bailu, Jingyan over Bailu. I think I might do Bailu over Zila here. I think I might. I kind of want to see what I had previously. What did I had before? Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. So Zila's there, and I have Bailu slightly behind. I think Bailu's ahead now. I think her her being an underrated character for me puts her over the top, because like Zila is like, obviously she's a good character, but she's meant to be a good character, right? She's like one of these signature characters of Belobog, right? Whereas Bailu, you don't expect to be a good character, but when you like get down into the nitty gritty moments of Star Rail, right? Her conversation with Don Hung, you know, what she represents in the story. Yeah, Bailu is also by Hong Crumbs as well. Honestly, I like, if I allowed ties, I think I would do a tie. I think I'm gonna go with Bailu. I think they're very close, but I think Bailu edges it out. But Zila very clearly wins against Shushang. See, this is the limit for Yukong. As much as I adore Yukong. By the way, Flamer, you weren't around for this. I love Yukong. She's going to be very high. But this is a limit, I think. There's only so high I can go with Yukong before the scope of a character just wins over, right? Kafka, you could argue, is the face of Star Rail. Like, you could argue she is the signature character of Star Rail. Versus Yukong is one of the most forgotten 4-stars in the entire game. As much as I love Yukong, you could honestly convince me that their writing is as good as one another's. But no. The answer is Kafka. It is going to be for everyone else, and it is for me as well. That said, I do like Yukong more than I like Blade. See, 99% of the people would have Blade ahead of Yukong, and I don't. So, Flamer, the worst part about Serval is that she didn't end up joining the Astral Express because it was a companion quest and not a main quest. I agree. I thought that Serval would have made a fantastic addition to the Astral Express, and while I agree that what we got was very good, I would have changed the actual story idea itself. Again, Locha could be Void Archives. It's definitely going to be relevant later on, but it's Blade. It's Luca. It's Topaz. It's Jing Liu, I think. Honestly, I think did I have Fu Xuan above Jing Liu before? Okay, no, I didn't. Okay, I thought this was surprising for me, but no, it's not. Jing Liu. Fu Xuan. Gunaifen. Ratio over Huahua for me. Again, I like Ratio a lot, guys. Ron May versus Huahua. I actually think before I might have had Huahua ahead of Ron May, but I think that's changed. Let me take a look. It's close. It was close. I do think Ron May is still ahead of Huahua for me. I think Ron May's design is super good. I love her skin, her little bit of her little kind of character role, and 4.3 was nice with Ash Veil. And I think she's super interesting. If Stone is still around, I know that Stone doesn't like Ron May. I'm sorry, Stone, but I like Ron May, so it's going to be Ron May here. Yeah, Hanya, I'm sorry. You're going to be low. Huahua. Argenti. See, here we go. Now we're getting to some interesting stuff. Akron versus Black Swan. Two fantastic designs. Two very attractive mommies. One of which I think is better written than the other, but the other one, I think, just personality-wise, I like more than the other. So I'm more attracted to Black Swan, but Akron is way cooler. This one is close. This one is close. But Goldie, if he's still around, he knows the answer here. And I think this is where you're going to see some of my loyalty, some of my personal bias. As amazing as Akron is, I love Black Swan a lot. I still love her a lot, even if she's fallen a little bit from, potential top 5. It is Black Swan for me. Akron, clearly. Sparkle over Zhuyi, Misha over Zhuyi. Wow. Talk about 2 hydrogen bombs. I think this is the perfect time for me to give a speech about Firefly, because I've given a speech about Cyrene, I've given a speech about Himeko, and this is the last of the top 3. So, when I came back to Star Rail, because I did end up taking a bit of a break, me and Goldie did end up quitting Star Rail at some point, I actually came back to Star Rail because of Black Swan. I wanted Black Swan. I installed the game. I spent $100 and I got Black Swan and I was happy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to use her and Kafka together. Oh, would you look at that? What a surprise. You're supposed to use Kafka and Black Swan together. I didn't even know that. So I was really excited and I started going through the game. I was like, okay, before I move on to the the Penacony, right? I knew what Penacony was, right? Before I move on to Penacony or watch any of the trailers, let me catch up with everything that I missed. So I did all of the events that I had missed. I did all of the story that I had missed. I did everything in the game that was available to me before moving on to Penacony. And it took me a while. Remember, Goldie, if you're still around, it took us a long time. It took us like 2 weeks to fully catch up to everything before moving on to Penacony. And we did, by the way, we did start right when 2.0 dropped. Like legitimately the day after 2.0 dropped, we started playing again. And I remember at the end of that catch up, I was like, you know what? This has been really fun. I'm really enjoying the game. Maybe this time I'll stick with it. But a part of me said, do you really want to be playing a gacha again? Do you really want to be playing a gacha again? Like, I liked Black Swan a lot, but you know, I wasn't sure whether or not she was going to keep me in the game by herself, right? Then I get to Penacony. I catch up and everything, and I decide, you know what? I'm going to take a 3-day break. I'm going to take a 3-day break before I start Penacony, because let me tell you guys, the hype during Penacony's release, if you guys were around back then, was crazy. It's never been reached since. I don't think Star Rail has ever reached the excitement or hype that Penacony had since Penacony. And I kept hearing about this character, Firefly. She was everywhere. Everywhere. I kept seeing her name on Twitter, on YouTube comments, YouTube titles, Reddit posts. I saw her name everywhere. And I had also seen a little bit of what she looked like as well, but I was trying my best not to get spoiled. But I kept seeing Firefly everywhere, everywhere. And eventually, like, Goldie and I started talking about it. Like, have you heard of this supposed character, Firefly? Like, she's supposed to be like the main character of Penacony or some shit like that. And this is where I do remember I was a bit upset at Goldie, because I remember the day I was going to start Penacony 2.0. I remember, Goldie, I don't know if I've ever told you this, if you're still around. I remember talking with Goldie, and he and I were talking about Sam. Because once upon a time, Sam was Goldie's favorite Honkai Star Rail character. And he sends me a message pretty much out of nowhere, without warning. I don't know if I'm going to summon Sam anymore, because apparently Firefly is Sam. And I was just like, you're just going to drop that spoiler on me out of nowhere? I was like, what? He just straight up tells me Firefly is Sam. And I was just like, brother, like, come on. He didn't like tell me that, like, he was like, apparently leaks like say that Sam's a girl and her name's Firefly. And like, I was like, Goldie, I was like, brother, you're going to drop that on me? Yeah, Flavor 07 indeed. Stone, your friend did that to me. I remember you telling me that, Stone. And I was just like, oh, that kind of sucks to know. Like, I would have liked to like learn that in the story. But, you know, I was like, okay, whatever. I guess it makes sense if her name is around everywhere, right? So then I started playing 2.0, right? And I'm already aware of the fact that Goldie is not a fan of Firefly, because like I said, back then Goldie wanted Sam the robot. So I know Goldie doesn't like Firefly. In my head, I'm like, I'm probably gonna like her. Like, she seems like a me character. She seems like a character that I'm going to like. And I remember messaging Goldie this. I was like, yeah, I know that you dislike Firefly for, you know, replacing Sam in a way, but I'm probably going to like her. I just need you to know that. I was unprepared. I was like, well, even if I know, even if he spoiled me that she's Sam, right? I think I can still do my best to enjoy her character, right? Like I can still like do my best to like her. Love at first sight. And not I let me make this clear. I'm not attracted to Firefly. I saw Firefly she was like, I don't know if you guys remember how she's introduced. She's like being interrogated by two random like NPC Bloodhound members. And the moment she like runs towards the Trailblazer and she does like her puppy dog eyes and she's like, "Please, I need your help." I was like, "Uh-oh." I remember taking a screenshot and I sent it to Goldie and I was like, "This is bad. I love this character already." And I was like, from that moment on, I was like, "This is bad." I really like her design. And then she started like on Elisa Fisher, one of the best voice acting performances in all of Star Rail. And then you go on like the date with Firefly, and I am falling for her so hard. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, I was like, not because at this point, right? At this point, I didn't have a favorite character really in the game besides like Himeko and Natasha. Like Himeko and Natasha back then were my favorite characters, but I didn't have like a favorite in the game. And I was like, this is it. This is my favorite. This is going to be my favorite character in the game. I don't care that she's Sam. I don't care that she's Sam. This is my favorite character in the game. And then I got the rooftop scene. The rooftop scene. And that is, like I said, one of 3 moments in this game where I've had an out of body experience. Firefly's rooftop scene, Cyrene's scene with the demiurge and the AI and the, the prima mobile of love. And most recently, in 4.4, Himeko and Motoko's scene where she passes on the code. So, let me catch up with the chat here really quick. Goldie, I'm listening to everything in the background, and yes, I remember this vividly. It's okay, guys. It's perfectly fine. Like Goldie just said, it was leaks, and back then he and I discussed leaks very, very openly. Like very openly. So you still don't say stuff like that even if it isn't true. Yeah, but like I said, back then, wait, hold on, what is this? No. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, guys. This is going to take me a bit. Hold on. Or am I completely misremembering this? Maybe if I search up Sam instead. I very much remember a very specific moment in my life. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so Goldie, if I'm incorrect, or maybe if this wasn't the first time, I'm gonna screenshot this. This is the moment it registered for me. So like maybe you said it previously, but this is the moment it registered for me. Hold on. Here we go. This is what registered to me basically. I did not like in any way like think like, oh, okay, Firefly could be Sam. This is to me like when like this is the moment in my head when I think, oh, Goldie spoiled me on Firefly being Sam. Also, can we talk about me being an absolute degenerate? Can we talk about me being an absolute degenerate? Sam is apparently a girl. Better be hot. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Can I chill? You're innocent officially. But like I said, to me, this is the moment, Goldie. So to me, and you did like in my heart, it did feel like you spoiled it for me. Like, wait, hold, let me go back to the link. Yeah, this is, wait, hold on. Choose 7. Choose 7, 20, choose 30. Why are we being detective on Goldie at the moment? Well, this is Chew 32. Oh, I didn't scroll down. Oh, I told you to do it. Oh my God, I even remember. Goldie's innocent. He's innocent. I'm sorry. My apologies. I did not remember that at all. I do not remember that at all. But like I said, back then we were discussing leaks openly. We were discussing. Oh, the problem was I didn't think it would be about Sam. I was like, it's probably some random bullshit that isn't Sam. And I was like, or maybe it was the fact that I didn't expect it to be that level of spoiler. That said, that's on me. That one's on me. So that one's on me. I'll wear that one. I'll wear that one on the chest. So at least Goldie just said it's a girl. My friend said, and I quote, "Firefly is Sam, the seller on Hunter." That one's pretty bad. That was they just straight up saying, "Hey, yeah, this character is them." Yippee! I'm not getting the death penalty. You're not getting the death penalty. No. Which on it, like I said, the spoiler didn't hit me that hard in the first place. So I don't know why in the moment I felt so betrayed then. Like if I asked for it, what probably happened was like you sent the spoiler, deleted it, and I was like, you know what? Probably doesn't matter. Like I was like, just you can go ahead and send it, right? Not expecting it to be like a story spoiler. Maybe I expected it to be like a kit spoiler or something like that. That's probably where the miscommunication is. So for reference, he knew I just meant Firefly when he said that. Fantastic. Very supportive friend, by the way. Kind of pissed in the moment, not gonna lie. I wouldn't say I felt pissed. I felt like a bit disappointed, I would say. I was like, oh, that would have been nice to know mid-story. And then, moving on. So, but yeah, that's how my love for Firefly started. Was like, again, I feel like it was just like expectations, like, right? I was not expecting it to happen the way it did. And then obviously the rooftop scene happened, and then everything from that point was history. So mainly because that's such a major spoiler. It is a pretty big one. That said, it is extremely obvious once you finish 2.0 that she is Sam. Very obvious. So I would have known by the end of 2.0. Anywho, having all said that, I have now given a speech for each of my top 3. The answer is Firefly. Aventurine. I love Robin. Boot Hill. I love Robin, but Aventurine's on a different level. Fei Xiao. I think I'm gonna have to respect the writing here. Let me take a look at my list. How high do I have Zhao Cho previously? I know I don't have him that high. Because I do think Zhao Cho is very well written, but I don't like his design. Yeah, he's pretty. I had Jade pretty far ahead of Zhao Cho before. You know what? I don't really care about these two characters enough to be struggling over this. Let's go with let's go with Jade. Yunlei. Sunday. Talk about fucking hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby. Oh my goodness, this is the worst we've had today. This is the worst we've had. The only there's very little you can do, dude. The only way you could get worse than this is a Himeko Nova and Arlen. Well, technically no. There's other combinations that are worse than this, but this one is this is unfair, bro. This is unfair. Motsa, I feel bad for you. This is the easiest click of my life. Fugue, Herda. Okay, now we're back to some fun stuff. Okay, guys, like I said, I gotta start fast forwarding through this. I'm sorry. I feel like I've given speeches for all of like the main characters. I think if a character comes up that I haven't talked about yet that I really enjoy, I'll talk about it. But we're gonna start fast forwarding this through this. Like I said, I need to eat something. I'm quite hungry. I don't necessarily want to go too far. So we're going to start picking it up just a little bit. Again, you guys might be surprised. Mighty here. Love Mighty. Love, love, love Mighty. This is where it gets contentious though. The answer is Aglaya. You guys might be surprised by that. The answer is Aglaya. And this is like, it pains me because I love them both so much. I genuinely love Castris and I love Aglaya. And it hurts that I had to choose between them, but Aglaya is high. Aglaya is going to be very high. Castris over Tribi. Now here are what is likely my two least favorite Chrysos heirs. That sounds negative, but it just goes to show how incredible the Chrysos heirs are. Just genuinely amazing cast of characters. The fact that these two are my least favorite while still being the quality of characters that they are is insane. That said, I do think for me, 3.1 is one of my favorite story patches in Star Rail. To me, it is Tribi. Look, man. Look, Hyacinth is incredible. She's going to be very high. Probably as high as like Aglaya. But it is, I mean, you are just staring at a absolute unit of a Hoyoverse character, let alone Star Rail. Just a straight up unit of a Hoyoverse character. Fine on. Hyacinth. Oh, man, what did I have previously? I had Hyslins ahead of Cypher. I actually think this has changed. This is close, but I actually think this is Cypher now. I think we're gonna go with Cypher. Yeah, Hyslins and Cypher. Yeah, this is a good matchup. This is a good matchup, bro. This is like the Spurs versus OKC, man. This is a good matchup. Okay. Love you, Yaguang. You're gonna be high. It's Cyrene. Evernight. Is this the first time we've gotten Evernight? She is a different character than March. She is not the same character as March. This is going to be one of the few SPs where they are not the same character. So it's going to be Evernight and March are going to be different. Sparkle and Sparksy are going to be different. I think those are the two SPs that we will have separate because they are two different characters. Well, Sparksy and Sparkle, not really anymore, but they were, to me, they were presented as different initially. I don't care that they merged. I do think they're different for me in my head. But that said, Yaguang. Dahlia. Speaking of the two SPs, now we're getting to Evernight. Evernight, you're going to get some love here. Ooh, well, the answer's obvious, but Evanescia, I'm not going to pick against Evanescia very much. This is one of those situations I will. Himeko, obviously. Okay. Ashvale. Himeko. Don Hung I like more than Welt. I like the Trailblazer more than I like Welt. I apologize for the cough. I think I like March more than I like Welt. I like Natasha more than I like Clara. I like Pela more than I like Clara. I like. Let me look up what I had previously. They were close. I do think this is still consistent. I do think I like Clara more than I like Serval. I think Clara is just so cute. Ooh, this is also super close. No, I think I had Yanqing ahead of Serval previously. I think I have Serval ahead of Yanqing this time. Yanqing over Manya. Branya over Sampo. Interesting. Let me take a look at this. I think, to me, the answer might be Sampo now. Japard is cool. I do like Japard, but he has not aged well for me over time. By the way, remember the story that I told about Himeko, where I got Himeko in 30 pools? My guaranteed S rank that I got at the beginning of the game was Japard. He was my like departure early beginner banner S rank. So if I didn't get Himeko full odds early on, he would have been my first 5-star character, and I would have been sad. So I do think it's Sampo though. A Chinchep, Japard, Kafka. I love Silverwolf. She's climbed a lot, but it's Kafka. Yukong. Again, guys, I'm warning you. Yukong is crazy high for me. This is like the character for me that everyone sees on their list. They're just like, what? Really? I adore Yukong. I do. Interesting. Yeah, give me a Yukong SP, Hoyoverse. I will love you till the end of time. I want to see who I have higher. So I had Blade ahead of Silverwolf. I still think that's true. My gut does tell me that Blade is ahead of Silverwolf. I think Silverwolf's ahead of Luca. As much as I said I like... Okay, now here is something interesting. Here it gets a bit interesting. Because both of these characters I feel like I've gained an appreciation for recently. I think it's Luca. I just really loved Luca during the war dance. Jingen. Bailu. Look, bro, he needs to do more for me. He does. Azila. Locha is better than Shushang. Ratio ahead of Topaz. Again, big fan of Ratio. I think. Let me double check. I want to look at previously. I want to look at what I had previously. Oh, previously I had Topaz ahead of Ratio. I don't think that's true anymore. I think I like Ratio more than I like Topaz. We'll see though, because I think we're gonna get more Topaz in the future over Ratio. That said, Topaz over Runmei. Runmei over Jingliu. The better character in Huahua, the better design in Jingliu. It is close. I do think this is close. I think I'd be more excited to see Jingliu at this point. I really do. Locha really does need to do something, Flamer, which is fine. They introduced him early on for a very explicit purpose, to keep your mind on him every once in a while. He is a late game character. Eventually, Locha is going to probably be very high on his list, but right now he just isn't. Huahua. I think Argenti. I think they're close, but I think it's Argenti here. I think I have a little bit more fun with Argenti. Fuxuan. I think I might like... Both of these are pretty low. I'm leaning towards Hanya here. Like, I know she's a streamer. Like, oh, a streamer, you're a streamer. Nah, I don't really care. Okay, Hanya. Oh, here we go. It's Firefly, but we're getting some good characters again. Aventrine's ahead of Black Swan. Black Swan's ahead of Robin, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, now this is a good matchup, guys. Now this one's good. Let me see what I had previously. They're right next to each other. They're literally side by side. And I had Robin ahead of Akron. That's crazy. That is crazy. We're about to get Robin SP, but Akron, man, actually, I think it's her. I think Akron wins this round. My heart tells me Akron. Robin. Boothill. Sparkle. Misha. Gallagher. Sunday. Fugue. This one's closer now. This one's much closer now than before. In fact, actually, I might put Herta above Fei Xiao. I'm pretty sure that was not the case before. Let me take a look. No, actually, no, she was ahead of Fei Xiao. She was indeed. All right, well, I feel that same way today. So, Herta, Fei Xiao, Jade, Yunli, Zhao Chou, Ling Shao. This is the battle of today. I don't know which character I'm going to choose. I don't. I genuinely could not tell you 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, which of these characters I'm going to choose. Flamer Herda and Fei Xiao is a hard one. Yeah, that one was contentious. Stevo, as weird as this sounds, one of the things I wish most for HSR is a Guinevere SP. Or I guess Gwenaifen SP, do you mean? I assume you mean Gwenaifen. Or isn't Gwenaifen's real name Guinevere or something? I don't remember. If I remember correctly, it is her real name, right? It is, yes, thank you. Sorry, I can't think about Gwenaifen at the moment. My top 3 were set in stone. Sunday was set in stone. This is next. Whoever is my 5th favorite character in the game gets decided right here. I don't really know. Let these two have sex? Yeah, maybe they can just like have sex, have a baby together, and that could be my 5th favorite character in the game. On one hand, there's Finon, the best character probably objectively written in the game. The Kevin SP, Kaslana, animated short, the whole package, right? The whole package. And then on the other hand, you've got Mighty, who like fits my tastes and preferences to a T. Like, he was my first love of the Crisis Heirs. He was my favorite character during 3.0 and 3.1 and 3.2 and like half of 3.3. Stone, apologies. I must appreciate the Fighty shippers. It's a great ship. So I don't blame you. It's crazy, man. Like I look at these two and like I feel like it's like the battle between my soul and my heart here. I don't know. Goldie, you still around, brother? You mind helping? I don't know if he's still around. He hasn't chatted in a while. This is a big moment. I legitimately am struggling with this one. I think. Look at my screen. I'm pretty sure this is like the main battle of today. I'm pretty sure this is the main battle of today. Who is my 5th favorite character? I don't know. I don't know. Like there are things that attach me to each one. Genuinely. And before, I'll tell you guys before, I did have Mighty ahead of Finon in my previous ranking. So, I think I know my choice. I think I know my choice. That one was weird. that one was weird. That's I think that's the biggest revelation of today's stream. For those of you who are invested in my rankings and my tier lists and all that stuff, that's a big one. Goldie knows how big that one is. That one's a big one. But I do think it's true. I do think it's true. At one point, I think I have to acknowledge the insane scope and package of, what Finon is in Star Rail. And to me, I think what sets it over the edge is the trailer. The trailer. Finon's trailer is magic. It just is. It is special. It is something I think Star Rail is going to just never achieve again. So, Flamer, let's take a look at this. Oh, she's so cute. She really is. I do like all of the Sunbreakers. I do. It's just I have a unhealthy obsession with one in particular. Can you guys guess which Sunbreaker is my favorite, by the way? Can you guys guess which Sunbreaker is my favorite? Flamer, Goldie, Stone, Stevo, Seed, if you're still around. Can you guys guess? What do you guys think is my favorite Sunbreaker? Who knows, right? Who could say? Mighty. Must be Dracena. Yeah, sure. Baby, watch it burns in death to isolation. Yeah, it's really good. No, it's really good. Now we both have each other's lab character in our top 5. That is true. Let's see if they stick around, because I feel like both us having Himeko and Finon in each other's top 5 is very flimsy. I feel like they are in the top 5, but they are like, of the top 5, the ones in danger of like moving. So you did say Firefly as well for you. Stone, I sadly don't think I found my lab character yet. Specifically for HSR, I already have my ZZZ lab character. Fair enough, Stone. Hopefully you find one day. No, yeah, it is Ildrada. It is Ildrada. All right, we're gonna keep going. Mighty. I think I had Aglaya ahead of Hyacinth before. I think that's still true, but they're right next to each other. Hyacinth, Castris, Slifer, Hyslins, Triby. Wait, is Sarah my least favorite Chrysos there? It might be her, not Anaxa. I misspoke earlier. What does lab character mean? Basically, Stevo, it's something that me and Goldie were talking about when Finon first got announced or like teased in the Golden Epic trailer. It's basically Finon based on me and Goldie's understanding of Goldie himself. Was a character almost made in a lab for Goldie. Now, obviously, we all know that Goldie's favorite character now is Cyrene. If that wasn't already obvious, like Goldie's favorite character is Cyrene, but Finon truly was made in a lab for Goldie. That is like based on what we know of Goldie's tastes and preferences. Finon was made in a lab for Cyrene. Like we said that all the way back when the first Golden Epic trailer first came out. Like, holy shit, this character was created for you. Like Hoyoverse made this character for Goldie. It was Finon. Yep, exactly. Goldie just described it. Finon was perfectly suited to his tastes, since Cyrene unlocked an entirely new taste. Exactly. And for me, Himeko is my lab character. She is, Goldie will tell you. Traditionally, I have always loved that archetype of character. I mean, we did a whole like 30-minute tangent during the, yeah, exactly. Like we did a whole 30-minute tangent the other day. So, and I think Stevo, you were there for that tangent, if I remember correctly. So mine will probably end up being Obsidian. Yeah, Obsidian is very cool. I think all of us are excited for Obsidian. All right, so this is Anaxa. Himeko. I didn't see the character next to her. So this is the first battle of the top 3 that we have today. This is the first battle of the top 3 that we have here today. So you guys will almost never see me do this. Me ever picking against Cyrene or Firefly will almost never happen. Ever. There's very few situations this ever happens. This is one of them. This is Himeko Cyrene. Here we go. Evanesia, Yaguang, Dahlia. I feel like they're very close. I like Asheville more than I like Evernight. Let's go through the fake characters here. Himeko. Natasha over Dan Heng. Is that how I feel? I don't know. I think the answer is yes still, but I think it's pretty close, which is crazy to say. I never would have thought in 1.x that Dan Heng would be close to Natasha. I did have Natasha ahead of Dan Heng before. I still think I do, but it is closer. So, Stone, you're into vampires, and yeah, Obsidian's going to be your favorite for sure. Yeah, Obsidian will be so high for you, Stone. Goldie, I will rank you number 1 later for the Cyrene. I'm sorry. It hurts me to pick against her, but I mean, it had to happen. So you've heard me say I'll E6 her. You know I don't say shit like that lightly. Yeah, Stone, you might have your Himeko moment. You might have your Himeko moment. Your one and only E6 ever. Okay, so this is Natasha. This is Dan Hung. This is the Trailblazer. This is March. This is Welt. This is ooh. Wait. Do I like Pela or Herta more? I was gonna select Pela, but I think I might like Herta more. And I have Herta ahead of Pela in my previous ranking. But why was my gut instinct to select Pela over Herta? No, it's Herta. This is Pela, Clara, Serval, Yonching, Branya, Sampo, Chingchet. So, can we stop being mean to Asta? Japard, thank you. I don't like Asta that much, but like that was just mean. That was exactly Flamer. Like, come on. This is Hook. Kafka. Again, guys. Again. Yukong. Ooh, I think this might be at this point Blade. I think I'm pretty sure this is Blade at this point, but Ratio, you had a good run. Silverwolf, which is crazy. I never thought I would put Silverwolf ahead of Ratio. I think it's Ratio over Luca, Topaz over Luca. Ooh, now this one's, let me check. I kind of want to see what I had this previously. I had Luca over Ron May. No, wait, no, hold on. Yes, I did. I had Luca over Ron May by a couple of spots. I think now it's Ron May. Luca over Jingliu. Jingyan over Jingliu. Jingliu over Bailu, I'm pretty sure. Huaha over Bailu. Argenti over Bailu. Bailu over Fuxuan. I think it's Zila over Fuxuan. Oh, they're like redneck. Yeah, I had Fuxuan over Locha previously. So let me clarify, though. I'm not E6ing a single banner over a couple of banners. Fair enough, Stone. I love Asta's design, but she needs more screen time. Unfortunately, she's just not going to get it. I think she's just a character that, you know, is there to be a part of the world, but not necessarily be a significant character. You know what? We're going to do Fuxuan still. I was thinking about picking Locha because he's more interesting, but I like Fuxuan's design. So Locha. Probably Hanya. These are some low hitters. I mean, I think you Shu Shang for me here. Damn, we went from Shu Shang versus Gornaifen to Firefly versus Sunday. Oh wow, that is a jump if I've ever seen one. Firefly, Sunday, not gonna pick Aventurine. Black Swan. Oh, this one's rough. I think this one's Acheron. But Fugue is climbing, man. Fugue climbs for me. So every time I do this, I feel like she gets just a bit higher. See, I don't know. Has Robin fallen for me a bit without me even realizing it? Do I like Fugue or do I like Robin more? I like Fugue more, I think. But Robin's songs are so cool. But no, my heart's telling me Fugue. I'm not going to ignore my heart. Robin. Ooh. I think this is Boo Hill. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I had Boo Hill. I had Boo Hill ahead before. I think I have him ahead still. Boo Hill's great. Herta. Fei Xiao, I think still. Sparkle has risen a lot for me. I just don't know if she's risen enough to be ahead of Fei Xiao. Sparkle. Jade. This is like the battle of the above averages. You guys know what I mean? This is like the battle of the above averages. Like, I like Yunli. I like Misha well enough. But do I like... I think it's Yunli. Also, I did lose 50-50 to Yunli on Himeko. Where do I have Zhao Cho in my previous list? There he is. I barely have him ahead of Misha, which I think honestly I have Misha ahead of Zhao Cho now. I think Gallagher is behind Zhao Cho. They're this Link Shaw because I use her over Gallagher on my Firefly team. Gallagher, G. Why does this game keep giving me like, okay, unimportant matchup, fucking all out World War. Himeko, obviously. Cyrene, obviously. Fine on here, but we're getting to the point now where I think I'm not going to be picking many people over Evanesia. Fine on. Mighty. Aglaya, but barely. Hyacinth. That's where the line is. This is where the line. It's Evanesia. It's Evanesia. Ooh. Casters. Cypher. Heislands. Yagwang. Dahlia. Trivi. Anaxa. Ashvale. I actually don't know about this one. Ooh, I don't know about this one. Out of respect for Saraja's character, I think she handled like the anti-hero role better than Evernight did. So Saraja. Himeko. Kafka is ahead of Natasha. This is where Natasha's like I said, just like with Yukong, there's only so high that Yukong and Natasha can go to. Kafka. I do think Natasha is ahead of Yukong for me, but they are like super high up, both of them. Again, this is probably the biggest one you guys are going to be like, what the fuck, Gulio? It's Yukong. Don Hung. The Trailblazer. March or Blade? I think March, yeah. I was just kind of cross-checking my previous list. Welt, I think ahead of Blade still, but it's closer. I'm pretty sure it's Blade ahead of Herda. Herda was over Silverwolf. Silverwolf over Pela. The ratio over Pela. Ooh, now this one is close. I think it's Topaz over Pela, but not by much. Pela over Ronmei. Oh, dear. I think this is Clara over Ronmei, but barely. This one's close as well. Serval over Ronmei, but barely. This might be a Ronmei over Yanqing, I think. Yanqing over Luca. Branya over Luca. Luca. Jingyan. Jingliu. Hua. I might be more excited to see Sampo these days at Argenti. Yeah, Argenti. God damn it. They keep giving me these matchups where I'm like, I really don't know what to think. I think it's Bailu. They just need to give Chin Chin more screen time and she's going to shoot up. She will shoot up. Zila. Fushuan, I think. I'm pretty sure. Are they like super close? They are super close to my previous ranking. Yeah. Flamer in general, Chinchua incoming trust. I hope so. Flamer. Generally, I hope so. So mainly because I'm very low spend since I'm currently unemployed. No, Stone, don't worry whatsoever, man. You play the game and summon and spend to your own power, right? Don't ever try to prove anything. Look, man, when Obsidian comes out, however you want to approach her release, you do it and you be proud of it. I do think I like Chincha better. I do think I like Japard better. Let me check. Let me double check. Yeah, Japard's better. Fushuan, Locha, Asta, very easily. Hanya, Shushang, Guanaifen, Lynx. And we're here. Okay. You guys record or clip or do whatever you need to do. Goldie, I need you to come. Goldie, it's time. It's time to make it official. I announced it a couple of weeks ago, but this is the official. This is what makes it official. I'm going to take a drink of water. Goldie, I need you here for this. I need you to witness this. Okay. All of you who stand witness, Flamer, Goldie, Seed, Stevo, and Stone, anyone on YouTube, anyone who might be rewatching the VOD. This is the biggest change of the list. We knew it was coming. Firefly was for 2 years and above, almost, my favorite character in Honkai Star Rail. Going forward, Himeko is now my favorite character in Honkai Star Rail. That felt weird. I've never once picked against Firefly when I've done this. Not once. Firefly has never been picked against when I've done this. Ever. Thankfully, immediately after this is painful. Okay. It's not Cyrene. It is Firefly. Then it's Cyrene. Then it's Sunday. Then it's Finon. Then it's Mighty over Aventurine. Still Mighty. Aventurine. I actually don't really know about this one. I think it's Black Swan still. I think it's... Akron has really risen for me, hasn't she? I think it's a Galaya. I don't know. I think they're right next to each other. I think these characters are literally right next to each other. Akron. Oh, okay. Equally as bad right next to it. Aglaya. Hyacinth. These are right next to each other. Evanesia. Fugue. Robin. Castris. Cypher. Boot Hill. Well, I am making these decisions quickly. Holy shit. Like it is like my gut instinct that's coming through this. Goldie, it was worth it. You got to see Cyrene. That's true. Stone, yeah, that's partially why I get M0W1/E0S1 and stop. Fair enough, Stone. By all means, fair enough. Heislands. Yaguang. Yeah, Yaguang. Herda. Dahlia. It's actually closer than I thought. Let me look at what I had previously. Wow, Fei Xiao's really risen for me in recent days. I didn't even realize it. I think it's Triby, but I'm surprised by how close Fei Xiao is to this. I think she's above Anaxa. No, Anaxa. Fei Xiao over Ashvale. Ashvale over Sparkle. I think it's Sparkle over Ciridra nowadays. Look at that. What a revelation. This one is close. I think this one is still Ciridra. I think Ciridra, even though she wasn't perfectly handled, it was a risk for them to approach her character in the way they did, and her design's amazing. Evernight or Jade? Evernight. Jade over Sparksy. Sparksy over Yunli. Yunli. Well, yeah, this is all fate. Well, I'm glad I got to make this choice because you get to see double Himeko on the screen. This is not really a choice. They're the same character. Like I said, they're number one. But what really set me over the edge is Nova. So it is Nova. Himeko over Firefly. Firefly over Kafka. Cyrene over Kafka. Sunday over Kafka. Finon over Kafka. Mighty over Kafka. This might be a change. I used to have Aventurine over Kafka. I don't think I do anymore. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Aventurine over Natasha. Natasha over Black Swan. Yukong over Black Swan. Black Swan over Dan Heng. Dan Heng over Acheron. Trailblazer. No. Acheron over Trailblazer. Aglaya over Trailblazer. Hyacinth over Trailblazer. Evanescence over Trailblazer. Fugue over Trailblazer. Robin over Trailblazer. Here we go. I think this to me is Trailblazer now. Mart. Oh, what's going on? Thank you so much for the raid. Oh my goodness. Welcome in, everybody. Nick Searle, we're the raid of 153. We are doing some character rankings. We're just about finishing, unfortunately. You guys should have come in a bit earlier because I was going on some soliloquies, my man. What's going on, everyone? Welcome in. My name's David. You can call me Ghoul or Ghulio. Big fan of Honkai Star Rail. Big fan of ZZZ. We do both of them on the channel. If you guys like kind of some character story analysis content, that's mainly what we do here. Like, I really like to sink my teeth deep into the Honkai Star Rail or Zenless Zone Zero story, really get passionate about characters, really get passionate about every little single detail that comes with the storytelling that Hoyoverse is able to put out there. So, and also, if you guys just want to swing by, have a good time, talk about your summons, talk about the game, talk about the story, talk about a specific character that you guys love, welcome in. But hey, appreciate it, man. Can we get the Spark notes? Who topped the list? So, I really don't want this to come across as if I'm a hype beast, because I'm usually not. But Himeko is my favorite character in Star Rail. She is. And that was a recent change. I used to have Firefly at 1, and nowadays it is Himeko. Himeko was my very first 5-star in the game. I got her early, even before the beginner banner kind of gave you that free 5-star, and ever since I've been in love with her. And then Himeko Nova, one thing that you guys will learn about me, if you guys want to stick around, I have an obsession with characters that use some type of spear, like a lance, it could even be like a bamboo stick. And for those of you guys that play Wuthering Waves, and you guys know Jing Rem or whatever his name is, he uses a bamboo stick as a weapon. I was just like, oh my goodness, I love him already. If you use a stick as a weapon, could be even the fucking broom, I will love you. So when they gave Himeko Nova both a spear and a mech, it was over from that point. So Swan, I lost E1 Himeko to Argenti on Zenless, saving guarantee for Ramiel. Ah, you hate to see it, man. You hate to see it. Absolutely hate to see it. No, yeah, my summons didn't go all that well either. But then I got super lucky into Lycon stuff. What's going on? Code, TJ Jackson, Fox, Reaper, everyone else, Krabby, Dank, Hakady. Welcome in, everyone. Appreciate you guys coming through. But yeah, I like Himeko is one, and I know for people that are coming in for the first time, that does make me look like a bandwagoner, but it was true, okay? It was real. It was real. But we do a lot of Star Rail and ZZ. And then very soon Hero will be doing Expedition 33. But yeah, welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Appreciate the raid, my brother. Appreciate the raid. Okay, so we've got casters in March. I think this is where the love for the Express starts to win out. Like, the Chrysos airs in the Astral Express. Astral Express bias, so I'm cool with Himeko number 1. Nodders. Bro, Nix. Is it all right if I call you Nix? Or do you want me to say the full thing? Nice to meet you, Nix. Appreciate the raid. Appreciate the raid. Handshakes. Handshakes all around. Nix, I have been watching the animated short for Himeko on repeat since the start of the week, man. Like, it's been bad. I think the animated short might be my favorite trailer in the game. And, like, that's everything. Astral Express bias is based. I mean, like, I always say this, man. Gacha games with main casts just hit different. They just do. There's a certain magic behind Honkai Star Rail, and even to a certain extent in ZZZ, because ZZZ kind of has a main cast as well. Bell, Wise, Fairy, right? That's the main trio. But the Astral Express is the prime example. It is, in my opinion, the signature example that Hoyoverse has done that shows why having a main cast in a gacha game is the right way to go. Because moments like these, right? You can have characters like Himeko. You can have characters like Danhong. You can have characters like March and Welt and Sunday now. Like, the very fact that we have a group of characters like the Astral Express that we can then add characters to, like Sunday joining the Astral Express, right? That is just a storytelling device that I feel is missing from a lot of gacha games, and Star Rail utilizes it perfectly. So Astral Express bias, absolutely. In my opinion, there should be a bias in gacha games. And a lot of people disagree with that because yes, you can spend your money, right? You can spend your hard-earned money on a character and you want the character that you spent your currency on to get love and attention from the development team so that you can get screen time in the story or screen time in an event. But that's not the way storytelling works. And I play these games for the story. What I want is to have certain characters that shine over others, to get moments like the characters that Himeko and Firefly and Finan and Castris and all these marquee characters that get animated shorts and character trailers that just hit different. They take you to a different realm of emotion. That to me is what I look for. So yeah, you want to be as fair as possible, right? There have certain been some cases of favoritism in this game with some of my favorite characters, right? So a Finan mention, brother, Memer, you have no idea the fucking brain like mess that I had earlier. For the longest time, I have had this like constant battle for my fifth favorite character. My favorite characters in Star Rail are Himeko, Firefly, Cyrene. Those are my top three. That's pretty set. I know, very vanilla top three. Judge me. Send your judgmental glares my way. So that's my top three. And then number 4 has consistently been Sunday. But number 5 has been a constant battle in my head between Mighty and Finan. Love Mighty. But it's really funny that number 5 on my list is constantly a battle between the Fighty ship. If any Fighty shippers are in chat, I love Fighty. It's so cute. But today was the very first time I ranked Finan ahead of Mighty. I've always ranked Mighty ahead of Finan. And earlier, we finally made a decision. I don't want to go back all the way. I could like click like 30 times. It would take me to get back to the Mighty Finan like battle. So, but Finan's amazing. He has, in my opinion, the best character trailer in the game. Not the best like overall trailer in the game, like specifically the best like, you know, character demo trailer. That one to me is lightning in a bottle. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to replicate that. So, yeah, Finan's incredible. He is one of the best male characters that Hoyoverse has ever put out, and just overall one of the best characters that Hoyoverse has ever made. So, they actually took the Kevin XP and did him justice, which is crazy to say, man. Crazy. So, but yeah, speaking of Astral Express bias, I'm pretty sure this is March. I don't know about this one, though. Like I said, I was a bit let down by Welt's role in the 4.4 story. This, I think, at this point is Castris. I think I'd be more excited to see Cypher in the main story at this point over Welt, to be perfectly honest. But Welt's above Boot Hill. Welt is above. I love you, Boot Hill, and Welt. He's above both of these. I think. Let me look at my previous list. I've got Boot Hill right next to Blade on my previous list. He's ahead by 1. He's ahead by a single ranking. I think Blade's ahead of Boot Hill now. Ooh, Madam Herda versus Boot Hill. By the way, I am keeping certain SPs as the same character. So to me, Puppet Herda, D Herda, same character. Himeko Nova, Standard Banner Himeko, same character. The only 2 SPs that I actually separated were Sparkle and Sparksy, because I feel like to me those are 2 different characters. And number 2 was, what was number 2? What did we separate? Sparkle, Sparksy, Evernight, and March. Evernight and March to me are 2 different characters. So. Ooh, I think I'm going to pick Boot Hill. This is Herda to me, I think, at this point. I think I do like Herda. Yeah, Herda. Hycelins. Yaguang over Silverwolf. Herda over Silverwolf. Silverwolf over Dahlia. Ratio over Dahlia. Dahlia over Topaz. Now we're schmoving. Now we're getting along. Topaz over Triby. Triby over Pela. Ooh. Wait, hold on. I need to see what I had previously. I don't know if I... Oh my god. Every time I open up my previous ranking to like reference like when I'm in trouble for a comparison, it's always they're right next to each other. I have a Naxa in my previous ranking ahead by 1. By a single digit, which I think is true. So we're going to keep going with that. We're at 91%. We're just about finished. Very nice. Because I need to eat something, man. I've been craving Chick-fil-A all day. Goldie, if you're still around, I told you while we were talking on Discord earlier, bro. I need some Chick-fil-A in me. And they're... Oh, god damn it. When does Chick-fil-A close? Hold on. I feel like Chick-fil-A is about to close. And that is not good. I'm pretty sure they close at 10, so I'm pretty sure I've got an hour left. You guys ever put American cheese on your Chick-fil-A sandwiches? It's fucking amazing. I'm here. I'm trying to get a 12K in APOC. Listen, brother. Get a 12K in APOC is like something that I can't even fathom. So good luck. Because I can't... I hit like 10K, like 10.7K today, and I was like, you know, it's good enough for me. You know, got my Jades in and out. Next to the next gacha game. Gotten 4K on 2 and 3. Need to figure out 1. Fair enough. Stone spent 2 hours just trying to get Star Wars difficulty. I did think this time around it was a bit more difficult than the previous ones for sure. I mean, it wasn't, especially because now that I have E6, by the way, for everyone who came in, thanks to Nyx's raid, I did end up summoning E6 S5 Himeko. Never summoned an E6 before, first one. She made it pretty easy. I will say that. There's still some times when like I use my E6 S5 Himeko and I'm just like, that feels different. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, that doesn't feel right. I'm not used to having something like this. Hey, I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. Wasn't necessarily like fully like dedicated. I did swipe my credit card. Very fortunate. Very grateful to be in a position to where I can spend a bit of money on Star Rail. But this is the only time I've ever done it. So, and I did save up enough. We got pretty lucky on the light cone summons, but the actual like character herself summons didn't go too well. I think I lost like 4 50/50s, and I got a couple of early. I think I got a couple of early, like I think I got 3 early 5 stars, but they were like pretty high earlies. Like I got one at 60, I got one at 70, then I did get one at like 30. So can't complain, I guess. I've had much worse luck. This is Pela, pretty sure. Fei Xiao, let me double check, because Clara is so cute and adorable, and she's daughter, so sometimes I overthink. I did have her ahead of Fei Xiao. Flamer, this is what I got. Can definitely get better scores with a bit more optimization. So let's take a look. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, you're clearing, Flamer. That's all that matters. You know, as long as you can get your rewards, as long as you can get your Jades, that's good. That's what I tell myself in ZZZ when I play and I completely just like shit the bed and I'm not playing well and I get my rewards. I'm just like, yeah, dude, good enough for me. You just got to be good enough to get your rewards, right? And then I look at my percentage, like my ranking in ZZZ, and I just start to cry. Bro, have you guys done the new Deadly Assault? That shit was not fun. That having double anomaly Deadly Assault without Remiel out yet, you did, Flamer? I did not enjoy it. I had to like sweat a little bit. I definitely had to try hard. Me and Goldie were doing it earlier on Discord together, and we both were like, don't know about this one. And if you don't have Norma or Evelyn, good luck, because that Pompey fight is not the easiest. So, and they set it up so specifically too. All right, Stone. All right. Stone, listen, brother. I'm just gonna give you my account every time DA and Shiyu defense come out. You do it for me, okay? I don't have the hands. There's mechanical failure in my fingers. One day I'll get good at ZZZ. Not that good, but one day I will. So I can stop, mainly so you can stop judging me. It means that you're better than me, my man. It means that you're like, what's your highest like deadly assault percentage ranking? Like, didn't you tell me at one point you got to like top 1% or something like that, or like top 3%? I average like 20%, my brother. It's bad. I know how to play Evelyn team, and that's it. Nothing else. Top 4.5%? I rest my case. Okay, I'm going to go with Clara here. I do think I like Serval more than the Fei Xiao. This just stumped me completely. I thought it was going to be smooth sailing towards the end. Fei Xiao is a better written character. Ron Mei has the design that I like better, especially in her skin. And I feel like she has more potential to do something interesting in the future, because she's a genius. But also, she's an Arbiter General. God damn it. I did not think about this matchup. Flamer, use Miyabi, Nangong, Nicole, Soldier 11, Jufufu, Orphe, Alice, Valina, and use it. You guys are better than me. I just threw my Void Hunters at the problem and just said, you know what? It's good enough. Call it a day. What did I have before? I'm going to cheat, reference my previous list. God, they're right next to each other. Of course they are. That didn't help me at all. Ron Mei. Fei Xiao. Do I put Yang Qing ahead of Ashvale? He just is, at this current moment in time, the better character, in my opinion. What's going on, Bella? Random on YouTube. Welcome back, guys. Oh, no, I think Random's still gone. Bella, still ranking. Yep. Still going at it, Bella. But we're about to finish. We're about 92% of the way in. So. Flamer, I think my highest score was also around the top 5%, maybe 3%. Now you guys are just flexing on me. Well, you guys are not flexing on me. I am unflexing myself. I am exposing myself. My lack of hands in ZZZ. And today I felt like I played well. Like today I was playing a DA, and I was like, yeah, I got it. I'm in the zone. And then I look at the score and I was like, oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not in the zone. Goldie, used Yesh against Pompeii, got the 20k with Yesh dead. Said good enough. Yeah, bro. It was a rough one earlier. You and I took a look at the bosses and like the elemental weaknesses, and we were just like, well, every man for himself, because that shit was rough. That's okay. One day I will get my Eldrada M6. I will get my Eldrada M6. I will ascend to godhood. I will, you know what? On Eldrada's release, I will get her M6 in a total of 160 pools. I will ascend to Eonhood. And after ascending to Eonhood, my first course of business will be to take my M6 Eldrada into Deadly Assault in ZZZ and just stunt on them fools. That's what I'm going to do as revenge for everything that I have suffered for the past however many months, depending on when Eldrada comes out. So maybe we could do a dual stream one day of me coaching you. Actually, that'd be pretty damn fun. I would not be opposed to that. Bella, okay, just dropping by for a spell before turning for the rest. Hey, Bella, as always, appreciate you coming through. Don't ever feel obligated to come in and you know, be a part of the stream. As always, it's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to chat with you. But take care of your health. Get some sleep if you need to. Appreciate you coming through. Okay. I do think I'm putting Yangqing ahead of Ashvale. Even though I like Ashvale more than I like Yangqing, he's just a better character. At this point in time. Well, maybe I shouldn't be too harsh. Let's do Ashvale. because I just do like him more. Just straight up, I do just like Ashvale more. And this isn't an objective character rankings list. This is my list. This is just like my favorite characters in the game. Favorite Flamer, my average in Deadly Assault is usually between top 12 and top 10%. I'd be happy to get to top 12. That's the difference between you and me. This is poverty versus upper middle class. This is what's happening. This is the wealth gap in ZZZ, but not wealth gap, the skill gap. Yanqing ahead of Sparkle. Sparkle's definitely risen for me after playing Arcadia, but not that much. Bronya still ahead of Sparkle. Luca still ahead of Sparkle. Jingyan still ahead of Sparkle. God damn. Website. Can we be kind of the Sparkle? I think Jingliu's ahead of Sparkle, but by barely. Okay, Sparkle's ahead of Huahua. Saradra Huahua is interesting because one's a safer character that's well written. The other one's such a risky character that isn't as well written, but still decently strong. I think it's Huahua. I do think I'd be more excited to see Sampo over Saradra. Saradra over Argenti, I think. Evernight over Argenti. Jade barely over Argenti. Argenti over Sparksy. I like Sparksy less than I like Sparkle. Bailu over Sparksy. Zila over Sparksy. Sparksy over Chinche. Yunli. Hold on. Yeah, Yunli over Chinche. Misha, Chinche. Misha by hair. Oh, no. Misha, I liked your story in Penacona. You were fine. But I just like Chinche more. Flamer the Sparkle slander. Listen. I am not the one telling the site to do this. The site's the one who's doing it. I used to slander Sparkle, though. I used to. Especially back in Penacony. Now, nowadays, she's fine. She's a good character. She's a good presence within PLANARCADIA. She even helped us out at some points, right? But there's just other characters that I feel more strongly about. I think Sparkle lands a very specific subsect of the HSR audience, and that subsect is quite large. Let me be very clear. And I'm just not a part of it, unfortunately. Stone, the only character I might not be able to help you with is Remiel and Sigrid, since they're not out yet. Yeah, indeed. They will be out very soon, and hopefully we will get lucky. Goldie, I will dedicate to figuring out Remiel. Yeah, dedicate time to figuring out Remiel. Sorry, didn't read the full message. No, yeah. I feel like Remiel coming out will be a good time for me to actually properly learn how to play the game. Japard here, I think, over Misha. Fushuan over Misha, but barely. Loach over Misha. Misha over Asta. Jaucho over Asta. Lingsha over Asta. Gallagher over Asta. Asta over Zhiyi. Hanya over Zhiyi. Shushang over Zhiyi. Zhiyi over Gonaifen. Gonaifen over Moza. Lynx. Hook. The one time you'll ever see me select Moza over Arlen. Rappa over Arlen. And then, as always, we're leaving the fake characters for last, so... Oh, shit. I didn't even realize. All right. There we go. I need to zoom out. Wait, is there no way for me to zoom out here? I thought you could. Raw text results. Can I zoom out like this way? I'm already at 67. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Well, I guess I have the stream for this purpose, right? We're done, Flamer. I said I wanted the stream to go 2.5 hours, and it's currently 3 hours and 19 minutes long. 20 minutes long, sorry. I stand corrected. So, that's cool. Very typical of me to do this. Okay, yeah, so we'll go through the list really quickly. We're not going to comment too much on it just because you guys saw me do this in real time for the most part. So, the top 3, this is what we expected, right? I do consider these two the same, but Himeko Nova I do like more than Standard Banner Himeko Firefly Cyrene. We all knew this. I think you can screenshot one of the entire thing with one of the options. That's what I want to do. I don't want to select anything because I'm scared. What if I scroll down? So one thing I would like to let you know though is you typically want to EX special Yurihari when you hit and your hammer is charged up. Thank you, Stone. You're saying that because Yudhari is probably the one character in ZZZ that I suck with the most. I remember playing her on stream once, and I was just like, "Yep, this is how bad it is." So, wait, wait, I need to stop getting distracted. Himeko Firefly Cyrene top 3. That one we all knew. That was set in stone. Sunday, obviously also set in stone, but Finon at the 5th slot, even though it technically says 6, but he's 5th. Is a revelation. That is a revelation. That is like a whoa. We finally put Finon ahead of Mighty. We were talking about it earlier. Another one immediately following that up, Kafka over Aventurine. I've had Aventurine over Kafka for so long, and it looks like that's changed as well. So two like very contentious like duels that have gone the other way finally. So that's pretty exciting. So Stone, sorry I wasn't trying to call you out. No worries, Stone. Did not take it like that whatsoever. I was making fun of myself because I fully acknowledge that my ability to play Yudhari in ZZZ is let's just call it not quality content. Goldie, fun stream, brother. I'm off to get ready. Hey, appreciate you sticking around, Goldie. Have fun with your stream, my friend. Take care. But yeah, and then we've got obviously the like surprise, like everyone's gonna be shocked by these. Natasha and Yukong like ranked so highly. Black Swan, Dan Hong, Akron, Aglaya, Hyacinth, and there's Evanescia. I told you guys she was gonna be high. I was shocked at how much I loved Evanescia. Shocked. I was like going into PLANARCADIA, like, yeah, I'm gonna like her. She's cool. She's cool. I fucks with her. And then like she just has some of the best dialogue in the entire game. She just does. Fugue, I feel like he has risen a lot. I love Tingyun, man. I love Tingyun so much. Her story in 2.7 was as compelling to me as Sunday's was in 2.7, which is saying something because she got less screen time. Flamer, I never played Yudhari, nor do I have her, so I can't help you with that. Well, it's okay, Flamer. One day I will learn. Stefan, Natasha's a bit of a surprise, but Yukong is not. Yeah, love Yukong. Love Natasha. My 4-star 1.x mothers. They're always going to rank highly. They just really can't crack like the top of the list just because, you know, the scope of these characters and what they represent and mean to the overall Honkai Star Rail story. I mean, that's just like so hard. Another thing I'd like to say, and this applies to both Miyambi and Alice, you can animation cancel with their charge basics. No, I know that you can like animation cancel with some characters. This is what makes me a bad player, is I don't know when I'm supposed to. I know it's possible. I just don't know the timing of it. So Robin, still pretty high up, but I did feel like she dropped a few places. Trailblazer, I think, also dropped a few places. Then you've got some of the Astral Express members with Martian Welt here. And then you start getting into the rest of the Crisis heirs with Caster Cypher. You've got some of the males of Blade, Boot Hill, Herda. Oh, I wasn't able to keep Herda and the Herda together. That sucks. It means I did mess up at one point. I did not mean to do this. They're supposed to be together. They are one and the same. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like Herda is ahead of Heislins. At some point, I must have picked Heislins or Yao Guang ahead of D Herda. My mistake. I probably was clicking too fast. Just put Herda like right here, just like right there. Serval Wolf is a bit lower than I expected, but I guess like with all the characters ahead of her, makes sense. Ratio, once again, performing well in these rankings. Dahlia definitely dropped a bit since, you know, I last did the list. Last time we did the list, it was 3.8, so there was probably some recency bias there. Topaz probably dropped a bit. Shribian and Anaxa seem to be in the same relative place. Pela and Clara, the Bellabog daughters, continue to perform well. Serval probably rose a few places. Ron May, Fei Xiao, Ashvale, kind of around where I expected him to be. Ron May and Fei Xiao, about what I expected. Yan Qing, Branya, Luca, Jingyan, Jingliu, Sparkle. And then you start getting to some of the lower end of the list. So, and the fake characters, like I said, at the very bottom, just because they're fake characters. They're not a part of the list. All right. Why is Rappa like all the way? Rappa should not be down here. Not the biggest fan of Rappa, but she's like over here. She's like probably in between Japard and Fushuan. I don't know how that ended up there. Again, probably was just clicking through too quickly, didn't notice. But I'm going to try to find some way to get this list in like one big screenshotable moment. Otherwise, I would just, reference the stream. But yeah, there we go. Flamer for Alice, it's about 40% anomaly buildup. Beyond that, it's overcapping. I don't have Alice, so don't need to worry too much about her, gameplay. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of character build in ZZZ that I just don't have completely optimized. It is what it is. Step for me, top 10 was number 1, Cyrene, number 2, Firefly, number 3, tie between Evanescence and Castris, number 5, three-way tie between The Herda, Robin, Silverwolf, and then number 8, Himeko, Finon, then Kafka in that order. Not a bad top 10, Stevo, if I do say so myself. We share 2 of our top 3. Except you just have Himeko lower than I have Himeko. So, Stone, yeah, like I said before, don't mind helping. Well, I appreciate the advice whenever you guys have to offer it. Not that it matters for this list, but why is only Rin and Gil there? That's what I was thinking about that just now. I selected upcoming characters as a part of this list because I wanted to make sure Himeko Nova was on there and she wasn't a part of the playable characters. So that's probably why they're there. But I'm kind of surprised that Archer and Saber aren't here if they're playable. So who knows? That's a good call out, Flamer. That's a good call out. Alrighty then. Well, that's the list. Let's go ahead and wrap it up here for the stream today. Okay, well, I've got about way too many names than I'm used to having in chat. So I'm just going to say this right up. Nix, thank you so much for the raid, my man. Thank you. I appreciate it. It was a great time. Hopefully some of your audience was able to enjoy the time as well with the Honkai Star Rail character ranking stream. We do these at the end of like every like major story arc. So the last one we did it was like at the end of Amphorius, at the end of the Penacone callback 3.8 around there. So this is the first time we've been doing it since. Was a super fun time. Stone Flamer, Stevo, all my usuals, Goldie, if you're still around. Thank you guys so much for watching. On YouTube, Bella, random guest, if you guys are still around, appreciate it as well. So, as I said at the start of the stream, the next stream is probably going to be ZZZ related, so we're kind of done with Star Rail for now. All of the 4.4 stuff that I wanted to do has been, for the most part, complete. The last HSR stream will be tomorrow, so we're going to be going live tomorrow. It's going to be a very chill, very casual stream. The goal of the stream is to just do some relic farming for Himeko. We're going to try to boost Himeko Nova's relic score as high as possible on Fribbles. So for those of you who know what Fribbles is, it's like a relic sorter or relic optimizer for your characters. We're going to boost our relic build as best as possible for Himeko Nova. I've got 120 resin and about 40,000 relic shards to use to get Himeko's relics as best as possible. So that's going to be tomorrow. That'll be like a 2 to 3 hour stream. So if you guys want to come through for that, would be super fun. Would highly appreciate it. If not, it is what it is. The next stream after that, the next stream after tomorrow, will be ZZZ, Remiel trailer reaction almost certainly. So we're going to wait for all the Remiel trailers to kind of come out, and then we're going to react to them all in one go on the same stream. And then obviously after that, we will do 3.1, and that'll be super exciting. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop it here for today. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you guys coming through. It's always a pleasure, always a joy to have you guys come through here and share in my passion for Hoyoverse games as we all do, and have a good time. And if anyone wants to stick around from Nix's audience, appreciate it as well. But until next time, guys, as always, take care of yourself, and I will hopefully see you guys next time. Peace, late.